We're back with an adorable Pokemon. Oh, this is how I get up in the morning, right here. All right. Let's look find where the hell we were with that nonsense. There we go. So we did that. Yep. We did that. So now we do this. So we defeated her. And so we go to Zadnor? Hang on, that doesn't seem right. Is that Zadnor? I recognize that. Hang on. It's 4. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Okay, so this 4 is the pre-fight. So that would make this the next cutscene. Yep, here we go. Okay. I know what you're on about. My bed is over there, in the other room. Blade Runner, Mikoto, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. This poor woman. She suffered so terribly while she was being extremely evil and taking hostages and doing worse than murdering people. So let's take her alive. Sure. That's earned. But then, after taking her alive, something even more horrible happens. Clouds of darkness. No, sorry. So, she was a... Okay. Boja used to be very, very class divided between highborn and lowborn. Same as Ishgard was, same as a lot of places were, right? She was lowborn. So even though she joined the Resistance in good faith, this Resistance, the one we're part of, the highborn members of the Resistance treated her like garbage. And I do mean, like, I don't just mean bullying. I mean active physical abuse and, you know, causing her harm and sending lowborn people to die because their lives aren't worth as much and, you know, highborn stuff. So she decided, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go with the Garleans instead because at least... Gabranth doesn't give... Specifically, she doesn't actually go with the Garleans. She goes with Gabranth because he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care if you're highborn or lowborn or whatever. He just cares what you do. So that's his shtick. And you can see why that was appealing to her. It was a victory bought with great sacrifice. Under the Blade's influence, many of Gunhilder's blades were transformed beyond recognition. At least now their suffering is at an end. Heavy loss for the Resistance, 'tis true, but having saved the Queen from the hands of the Fourth, we may resume our offensive unimpeded. We must do so quickly, while they remain few in number. I would too, Pillars of Snow, to be completely blunt. I would become a Messiah. For now, she will remain in solitary confinement in Gengos, which is wonderful. First and foremost, we must deal with the Fourth. Once they've been routed, she will be made to stand trial for her crimes. Hey, Strife. Espionage, primal summoning, tempering of Gunhilder's blade. She has much to atone for. As do many of our people, I would say, for it was the callousness and cruelty of those seeking the glory of her forebears that drove her to side with the Empire. That doesn't excuse her transgressions, but it does explain them. I didn't get any Lomain. Death to Lomain! As for Save the Queen, it should go without saying we mustn't allow it to fall into the wrong hands again. I thought perhaps it could be destroyed, but I've yet to leave so much as a scratch on the accursed thing. I think it best if you were to take it, Mikoto. No doubt its study would prove a illuminating experience for you. Unless, of course, you'd rather it be locked away. I defer to your judgment. Listen, all I'm saying is rice is better than noodles, alright? That's all I'm saying. Future vision, visions of the future. Woo! Mikoto, no. Well, that's a vision of the future to get. By the way, I don't actually know how that ends up, because I'm not that far in the story yet. I'll take rice over pasta, too. Rice! You got something wrong. No, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I'm 2 steps beyond this, I think. What in the world? It's... The Dalriada. Which apparently my phone thinks is Colorado. Which those words don't even sound similar. Dalriada, Colorado. Like, there's not a lot of similarities there. Anyways, this is how you make an Ifrit ship look cool. I always did think those were one of the cooler ships back in 12. Oh no, it's guaranteed. About damn time. Now that we command the skies, they're done for. Quickly, we must withdraw to Kangos. Yeah, it's a biggin. So, I would like to get a kill squad going for Zadnor, for anybody who is both capable and willing. I mentioned it in Discord, but I'm mentioning it now out loud. It's a big ship. Jesus. How did Gabranth get a ship that big? I was eating too. The food was good. So I forget who asked me to get lemon chicken, but check who is that person present? Whoever asked me that. I mean, maybe Pillars of Snow, but I mean, we're only up to what, 4 ships that big we've ever seen? Maybe it was Rax. So I tried a little bit of the lemon chicken. Mostly I just had the sweet and sour. It's really good. So usually when I get lemon chicken, it's chicken in lemon sauce. That's not what this was. This was what I can only call lemon suffused chicken. Like, it's just straight up chicken, but it actually tastes of lemon. Like, they actually cooked it in lemon sauce or something, and it went through it. And it's actually really good. I only had 1 bite, because, you know, I was primarily eating the sweet and sour. But, yeah. Anyways. Oh, yeah, I don't have to show this cutscene. I'm going to show this in a minute. So we got a Zadnor. I might have also gotten orange chicken. I got a bunch of stuff. That's a good question, Ross. I don't know. Thank you for coming. I understand this is your first time in Zadnor, yes? Even before the 4th relocated from Castrum Lacus Lictore, it was hardly the most hospitable of places. It's what it tastes like, Bregman, yeah. Chicken in orange sauce? Now that's... I do actually have orange sauce in my fridge. So anyways, one scarcely believes it was once a rich and fertile land. Hey look, it's the moon! In the wake of the disaster, this plateau became rich in earth-aspected crystals. Miners were keen to seize the opportunity and quickly exhausted the supply of valuable resources. As the settlers had no other reason to continue searching, the region eventually became uninhabited. How do you not be in the mood for tacos? Until the Imperials decided to establish an outpost, that is. Just when we thought ourselves prepared for the next assault, they usher in a fleet of ships from Dalmasca, led by the Dalriada. It has yet to move since dropping anchor. There's no denying the strategic advantage of their present location, but we're not convinced it is fit to serve as a new base of operations. Regardless, rather than speculate over Imperial schemes, we must take decisive action. It's time to go farm Zadnor. And Zaktaft! We must farm Zaktaft! If we are to succeed, we must first need to deal with the warships stemming our attempts to advance. Good thing you brought me! The great and powerful Cid. See those floating rocks? One might think them the result of the Fourth Umbral Calamity, but they're actually caused by the Boja incident. When Dalamud struck the Citadel, vast quantities of energy permeated the site, still carried to every corner of Boja via ether currents. Certain regions were affected more severely than others, and the results are self-explanatory. Thankfully, we've managed to tap that energy to erect a barrier to protect us from aerial strikes, much like Syria's wall. Nothing that is... Very, 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 very few things that are not MSQ or voice acted. There are, like, 5 exceptions. Like, some of the voice acting in Eden, some of the voice acting in Coils, all the way back in ARR. And occasionally some fights will have a little bit of voice acting, and, like, that's it. Everything else is MSQ exclusive. I'm not gonna lie to you, Rex, because I'm a terrible liar. But that I would not. You hit a nerve. You hit a nerve, because I actually really enjoy Challenge 2. I think you know that about me. I think you've seen that about me. It's a demonstrated act that I have shown on stream several times. Never mind my actions off camera. So, in general, I'm down with a good challenge, but I have to admit, the reason I didn't really respond all that much, and I don't know if you noticed, I just kind of started shutting up about the entire topic, was because the argument that was being made is... I call it the Dark Souls argument, but it's not really Dark Souls. What it really is some games have something where they are designed for you to fail. And fail 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 until you finally succeed. Javan gave me the term here. He calls them mastery games. The whole point of a mastery game is it is designed for you to beat your head against the wall until you succeed, right? You can see why I call this the Dark Soul mentality. Now, I have a really complicated thought process when it comes to that, because I think that some games do that well and some games don't. Cyber Shadow is a perfect example of a game that does that well, for example. You probably saw during my playthrough, there were several times when I was just beating my face against the wall of several bosses until I figured out what the hell I was doing. If you saw my Celeste run all the way back in the day, that's another perfect example of that game. A game I have 100%ed and played all the way through twice. So, you know. I get the appeal of mastery design. I do, absolutely, and without hesitation. But when I tend to hear the mastery argument, I tend to just walk away from it, if that makes any sense. It's like, okay. That's because I can't make a counter-argument there. Not really. I can't do much about that argument other than say, well, okay. And thank you for watching my show, Tara. I almost said StarCraft. Thank you for watching my show, StarCraft. I will put that to Tara, too. Moving on. Sorry, I meant Bloodborne has this. My bad. Welcome back. The dams appear to work as planned, and we're doing this thing to monitor ether current. Sensors indicate traces of ether. We'll be able to set up our second outpost. This is the unlock quest for Outpost 2. Uh-oh. It's a vision of the future. And this is officially the last thing I've seen, by the way. Yeah, come on, get on it, Tara. We need sequels. We need money. Oh my gosh. No, there's a ship. There's Sid. There's Bloggy. There's Mikoto. No. That's actually pretty impressive. No, maybe we should have had side railings on this thing. You know, what's funny is we've been making fun of the airship design since ARR. And there you go. That's what we were making fun of. Oh no, she's falling to her death. And that's as far as I am. That's where I'm at in the story. If you'll notice, I actually have a quest to go talk to her right now. So who would like to join me for Zadnor? Let me just disband and wipe the slate a little bit here. Oh. That was good lunch, though. That was good Chinese. I needed that. You know, it's funny. I would be hard-pressed to think of an MMO that doesn't have a story that's still going. EVE Online would qualify. Okay, so we've got Maverick, who's limited to Area 1. EverQuest, yeah. EverQuest had context, but not really story. Rex. Pillars of Assassination. I believe I am currently rank 20. It's okay. We'll abandon you, Maverick! Sorry, I shouldn't do that. Oh, right. I was going to say this on camera. I did give several positives for Delibram. Obviously, there's some really good boss design in there. Duh, right? I don't have to argue that one, right? But I decided after some thought to give a negative, just one, to the Relic quest. And I wanted to explain it out loud a little bit. I kind of like that outfit. Okay, I don't like the lack of arms, but I like everything else about it. The step I'm on, which is a mandatory step to get the Relic, requires me to get 15 of a certain item. I can get 3 per Dalibrum, or I have a chance to get 1 per floor in POTD 50+. That step right there is awful. Most of the other steps are, okay, you know, get to a certain rank, do a certain number of raids or fates or whatever, hit up a certain dungeon, and then do CLL, and then you're good, right? The upcoming step, and there's only one step after this, really, which is to do the Zadnor grind and or raid grind, is also just, it's just straight up a grind, and that's fine. This step, however, is uniquely bad in its construction, because it requires you to do very old content, which is slow and grindy and very difficult, I might add, for a chance to get an item, of which you need 15, or you can try to mash a raid, which hasn't been scaled back properly and has effectively been abandoned in order to get 3, and also is a huge time sink. And I already said this in Discord, but to reiterate this, this is why I've decided to walk away, and I'm just accepting not getting this relic, which admittedly sucks. This is actually my relic right here. This is the relic weapon, and I do like it, but I was really looking forward to getting the final one, because this is insanity. Getting enough people on who can do this at all, who can do it at all, who've got the extra DPS to do it quickly, who've got... Because remember, we only wiped once in that entire run, and we had multiple people who were buffed, and that still took 75 minutes. So, getting the people on who can do it, who have the abilities, who know the fights, while I have the availability of being on the time, and then adjusting this giant chunk of time for it, for 3 more runs of Delibrum, is insanity. And it's just not happening. And part of being an adult is accepting when the answer is no. And so I'm just walking away from that. It sucks, but there it is. I'll take Summoner, consequently. Yeah, 5 total runs of Delibrum. I've already done one off camera, and that was the second one we just did. So 3 additional runs in order to do that. I agree, unnerfed, this is even worse. The fact that it is merely 5 runs, or 15, you know, dice rolls in high-level POTD, that's bad, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. Anyways, is this everyone for the moment? Someone said they were going to join. Oh, it was Maverick was going to join them. I already got you, though. So, and this is one of the reasons I would really like to go ahead and try out Del Riata, if possible. If for no other reason, then I am legitimately curious. Because I have been told, obviously I haven't been to Del Riata. I am told, however, that it does the scaling much better. And I've given my opinion before, and I stand by this opinion. I think Delabrum is not really properly scaled. And CLL is super not scaled well. But yeah, I've been told Del Riata is where they were actually implementing it with scaling tech in mind, and therefore it just comes across as better. And if they ever actually go back and re-implement that back to Delabrum, or make it a different drop rate, or change something else, maybe I'll get my relics someday, but I'm not expecting them to go back to a piece of Shadowbringers content and update that. Zadnor. Alright. So let's turn in the quest I currently have. If you want to go get Maverick of Fate, because I noticed there's a level 1 Fate right there, go ahead and do that real quick. I'll just be in cutscenes. Go! Get Maverick some rep. Or metal, I mean. Welcome back. Our sensors detect steady streams of ether flowing towards the site of the new outpost. Now it's up to the Resistance to drive away the Imperials. Once they have, a substantial confluence of energy should be available to power a new barrier. Everything seems under control. I better get going. Aww. Alright, Mikoto's gathered some promising data to help the Chief with the Del Riata. Yeah, it pertains to findings on the inner workings of the Crystal Foci. I think it'll be of use to him. Chief said he'll be heading back to Dome after finishing maintenance on Sirius Wall. Rather than drag him all the way back here, it seems quicker if I'd taken the data myself. But don't worry, I'll be back before you know it. I should probably mention, these cutscenes barely include her, but she's actually kind of awesome. I don't even know how to spell her name. If anybody knows, please feel free to tell me. There it is, Lilja. Like, she's pretty cool off camera. A little bit of a fangirl of us, but smart, competent, motivated, amusing. And it's not good to keep your emotions bottled up like that, you know. Why don't you tell them how you feel? What? Lydia, that's wholly and utterly unprofessional. I would never. He would never. And even if we did, this is neither the place nor the time to discuss such matters. I think it is. I've seen far too many people live to regret words left unspoken. This is what I'm talking about. She's just kind of legit. Think on it, will you? Try not to miss me while I'm away. Well, when I first saw her, I was just like, But she grew on me hard and fast. Yeah, Mikoto. Go be happy with Sid. Is there any chance you could forget that entire conversation? Let me think about it. Let me go tell Sid about it. I was only joking. But thank you for trying. I like Mikoto, too. There are missteps, don't mistake me, but overall I do enjoy the Boja story arc, from what I've seen so far. To tell you the truth, since entering the studium, my life has been one singular purpose, the pursuit of knowledge. Yet for all my research and scholarly works, I never learned what it meant to be truly alive. At least that's what Moonbrita would tell me. She would often admonish me, always insisting I spend time with other students, or at least step away from my dusty tomes for some fresh air. I have not. I don't drink alcohol, Triaxia. Perhaps she hoped I might find someone I cherished more than my books, though sadly she never had a chance to see it. Sid's a remarkable man. Just go tell him how you feel. Oh my god. Go. Kiss. I would do all in my power to support him. As a friend. Uh-huh. Sure thing. Much as I hate to disappoint Lilja, that's just the way of things, so please don't read too deeply into it. Hi, Geralt. Master Geralt, what are you doing here? Better question is, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be paying a visit to Sid? Not to be embarrassed about. All good romances have to start somewhere. And I agree, you two make a good match. They do actually make a good match. I hope they go somewhere with that. Please don't tell me if they do an Endwalker. But I think they'd be a good fit. Unfortunately, because Sid and Mikoto are both side quest characters, if there is something in Endwalker, it probably hasn't even happened yet. That'll probably be patch raid content. Either that or she'll die in the upcoming cutscene we've already seen twice. Explain, explain, explain. Dalriata just went up? I can't even go into it. That's okay. I needed to test something anyways. Hey, he changed axes. And shields. Well, is it ready? The modifications will require more time. You can't be serious. It's been ages since the damn thing was excavated. Have the engineers been sitting with their thumbs up their arses all this time? Far from it. Given that this is unexplored territory, we must proceed with caution. Tell that to resistance soldiers a stone's throw from our bloody front door. Won't be long before they tear it down. Why not withdraw to Dalmasca? Surely they can finish their modifications on the way back. Withdraw? You would abandon everything we labored for in Boscia? And that's not to stand that's not counting always stand to lose. Surely you have not forgotten the events of Castra Meridiana. I don't know what I've heard. Gaius' pet ended up biting the hand that fed before it turned the place upside down. Not quite the wording used in the reports, but accurate enough. Knowing his plans would be thwarted, he developed an anti-Icon War Machina in a final attempt to drive back Eorzean forces. He could not contain its power, and because of his hubris, that castrum was wiped off the map. In short, relics of Allagons are not to be trifled with. It takes but one mistake for all our plans to fall to ruin. And yet, Sicinius has seen fit to scurry off into some far-flung hole when he's needed most. This is his skim, not ours. He should be the one overseeing this. Perhaps you should put your pent-up frustration of yours to use outside. After all, in light of Messia's recent failure, it falls to us to rout the resistance. Because only evil people care about fashion. Really? You're asking me to go out there? Well, it's about damn time. Somehow I knew you would relish the opportunity to get your hands dirty. Oh, I assure you, they'll be filthy by the time I return. Hey, Bragwin. Maybe. I don't know if there's a Bragwin there. So what you gonna get, Rex? Other than Chinese, I suggest Chinese. Seems the resistance has set their sights on another potential outpost. Do me a favor, Bragwin. Go ahead and queue for Zadnor and just see if we get lucky. Because that would make things so much easier. Got rank 22 for the next one. Oh, you're in? Where are you? If you're in here. Where you at? Where you at? That looks like it's a Mark 1, so we can queue for it. Oh, there you are. Hi! Thankfully, of my many complaints about this zone, that's not one of them. Okay, let's go ahead and register. Oop. Aw, can't register. Oh god, I can't register while Rax is dead. Rax. Go hit accept really quick, please. Rax. No, we don't have to do it. I was just going to show it off. Honestly, the critical engagements are a little bit less worthwhile from what I've seen in Zadnor compared to Boscia. Yeah, sure thing, Rax. Rax goes off and says, I'm going to kill that lore and a stupid, ugly, stupid, worthless, terrible, ugly face. I suppose I'm ready. Just show it off. So we got, looks like a minute and a half or so. See if we can get some credit on this before we move forwards. gonna say, I know we're still stuck in this area. Do I have my pet? I do not have my pet. Let's fix that. Let's see. Maverick's 15. Bregwood's 19. Does anyone remember what level you get access to Zone 2 at? Because I know I have access to it. I get Zone 3 at 22. But I don't remember when you got Zone 2. I know it's before 20. In fact, it has to be before 20. So I think it's 18. So if we can get Maverick to 18. Still got a few seconds on this. Let's get as much credit on this as we can. When that counter gets to about, say, 15 seconds, go ahead and hit commence. I'll join you, obviously. The only one doing any real damage here is an Ixia. Stupid thing at half health. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. Boop. Oh god, this one. Okay. This should be fun. There's a bunch of people here, so that's whatever, I guess. I was expecting to get in with other people, but that's okay. That's okay. Remember this one. I've actually done this one before. This is a fantastic time for Q&A, by the way. If anybody has any outstanding Q&A questions, this would be a good time to go ahead and mention them. I like how I'm getting poetics here. And you thought I was kidding, by the way. It's literally 10 times the 10 times the metal as we were getting in Boja. It's ridiculous. Do I think orange juice can be improved? Yeah, it can be grapefruit juice instead. Hope you had fun, Trax, yeah. Yeah, hydrate, Trihexia. Water will help. Whoop. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's done. I didn't see that one coming. That's okay. But yeah, I'm not joking. Hydrate. Keep your body fully hydrated. Hi, Bragwin. I can see you over there. I need a res in a minute. Let's see. Pillars of Snow asked a question, and it's one I've been sitting on this entire time. Which had the better story? The Doma restoration or the Ishgardian restoration? And I'm really torn on that, because they're both actually really good. Memeing and joking that yesterday aside, the Ishgardian restoration was legit, right? Like, very down-to-earth, very personal. We had multiple recurring characters showing their arcs and growth and lives and how they changed as the Ishgard, as the Ishgardian restoration progressed. But Doma did the same thing. And as I mentioned, I kind of mentally adopted the Doman people as a result of that. And the Ishgardian thing, even though we did it in a day rather than across a month, nevertheless, in both cases, I don't think I can pick a favorite between the two, because they're both just really well done. Oh wow, that person came very close to dying. My goodness. More dots! More dots! More dots! When I say DPS, I mean freaking DPS! Get that deeps going. Yay! That was actually a good chunk of metal. Res, please. 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 Pretty please. Bragwin! Bragwin! Bring me back to life. I beg of you. Or that. Yay! It's just some random. Ah. Thank you. Okay. What do we got? Oh, there's one up right there. Let's go. Let's do it. Wait, I should ride in Bragwin's car. Ah, no! She's driving too fast. I can't keep up with her. Just like in real life. There we go. Let's do it. Yep, those hips are just too much. Look at that. They're bouncing the whole car. Oh, Ultimate Demons. Might not get credit on this one if I don't jump in here quick enough. How do I get out of the thing? How do I get out? Oh, God. Okay, there we go. Quick. Insta-cast. Insta-cast. Credit! Barely. That was just barely. Let's see. Maverick's up to 16. There's one over in Zone 2, which Maverick can't get to yet. Oh, there we go. There's one. There's one. Go. Go. How to do a Shadowbringer's restoration? So, Yulmore and Crystarium don't really need restoration, so we need to pick another spot. So what's a good other spot to pick for a Shadowbringer's restoration? Oh, this one. Okay, so he's going to target you with an ice beam thing. Don't face those icicles, so make sure you're in an area where when he hits you, that doesn't happen. Yeah, don't do what that player just did. That's terrible. Twine? That is tied into the beast, the dwarf tribe quest. Now that you say it that way. And we could also do the slums of Yulmore. There's ways to make that happen. I don't have an interrupt. Do I have an interrupt? Do casters get an interrupt? Why do I have aggro? Why do I have aggro? Why do I have aggro? I'm confused and alarmed. And thank you very, very much, Vigilant. Although, whoa! I don't know what game that is. Do you mind clarifying, or is it already on the list? Yay, Bragwin can level. Remember, quests give you metal too, like a good chunk of it, so don't forget to do that. Yeah, go ahead and level. I'll just roam for a minute. It's on the list. Okay, well, if it's on the list, then I accept it. Just give me a moment. I don't even know what it is. What is it? What is that game? Is Medieval Total War on the list? I believe you. I believe you. Oh, there it is. Of course. Wrong direction. Either way, thank you very, very much, Vigilant. Again. See, I was thinking Amarang. I feel like trying to build up the desert town and reconnect them and get the trade hubs going between Yulmore and Crystarium and turning Amarang, which is the Twine, I guess, into like the trade hub or the trade route in between the two major cities just kind of has some appeal to me, admittedly. And I think that might be a decent direction. I don't know. I'm just talking here. I don't know. And I have aggro on several things. This is terrifying. I think I'm getting some experience. Yep, nope, I am. MMOs have romance? Clearly it's WoW with Tyrande and Malfurion. I mean, duh. I can't even say that with a straight face. I mean, I just want the trolley. That's all I care about, Pyro. Is that so wrong? Just want the trolley. What do we got going on here? Nothing, actually. Just stand here for a minute. Oh, there's something. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Amarang, and the Twine specifically is a good pick. I like it. Let's do it. Boom. And yeah, turn it into a trade hub, build up the connections, maybe carve out some of the tunnels, make it safer, you know, set up get some people to volunteer to be the guards, have Trolley Boy be excited that we're going to add trolleys and then we don't actually add new trolleys, you know, the works. We have to crush his dreams, okay? It's actually part of the requirement. Ooh. I have aggro. It's an interesting problem to have. Yeah, I'm gonna die, so I'm just gonna go over here. Oh, I'm gonna be healed. Yay! The power. The power of being healed. Maybe I should just switch to a healer. Who am I leveling right now for healers? Astrologian! Yeah, there you go, I'll do that. There we go. Okay. Let's not even deal with that nonsense anymore. Whoop. I actually like that idea of a multi-location restoration. Maybe do a thing where, like, probably make them smaller than a typical restoration area, like not as big as the Firmament or the Dome and Enclave, but make it like just the area around the Twine, and then like one spot right by the Crystarium, and then one spot right by Yulmore. And it's a relatively small area, but all three areas are the progression, the zones that you're developing, the zones that you're restoring as you're going. And I admit that appeals to me from a purely narrative perspective, because I like the idea of restoring the area, the nation, the planet, rather than just one city, you know what I mean? But I admit, practically speaking, that would be a thing to implement, so I don't know how feasible that would be. Enjoy work, or else. Really? Yeah, I think I like that idea. I think that's what I go with. That's going to be my answer. Full stop. Okay. Let me actually look at the other questions here. Sorry. What else we got? What else we got? Whoa. Tim asks regarding the previous networked mines people. Oh god, do I have aggro again? No, I don't. Okay. What would the Federation do with them? I mean, the obvious answer is they would send in people to study them, and they would be like, but we must never interfere! And then they'd lick the Prime Directive's boots for a few minutes before preaching about it, before deciding to go ahead and just set up some satellites and have people watch it from a distance for a while, and then they'd never look at it again, and that species would never develop again, and that would be the Federation's response. Live, Bragwin. Live, Bragwin. There we go. That's the deal. Buff initiator. Live me. The Federation is, let's be honest with ourselves, the good guys of Star Trek. But they're way too passive for me. They like to just sit back and let things happen, rather than doing anything. They usually only do something when they're pushed into it. Oh my god, okay. This should be interesting. This is actually another of the espers from FF12. Oh, whatever, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Orange Juice, Shadowbringer's Restoration. What is... Oh yeah, so MMO that did romance best. I'm going to answer that first. Because there's only one MMO that's done romance for the players, and that's Tor. So, by default, the answer is Tor. Now, that being said, romance in general, not just of something that is selectable by the player, that's a little bit more debatable. Do you mind defining that, Ross? Because that's an interesting way to phrase that. You think they should be more like the Dominion? Yeah, winner by default. Tor! Most MMOs don't have romantic couples in them. I mean, this one kind of does. WoW kind of does. Guild Wars 2, nevertheless, is the winner. And I'm not going to spoil, but let's just say that there's a romance arc that literally starts in the lead-up content to Heart of Thorns and concludes in the End of Dragons, which is the expansion that just went live a couple of months ago. So... Okay, so, now the more complex question. What is something simple and cheap to implement that 14 should steal from another game that will work better in 14 than the game it steals from? That's actually a tough one, especially the cheap and simple part. I'm gonna assume we need to be in the bubble. Yep, no. Yep, okay, there it goes. Okay, okay. Hang on. Let me heal Maverick here. Heal Maverick here. Let me... Oh my god! Hang on, let me heal everyone here. Now we're gonna rest Bragwin. Sorry, Bragwin. A little distracted there. I'm just gonna stay on my healing tab, I think, for this fight. Okay. Well, okay. That's probably... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that's my face. That's my face. If it was Delabrum, I would have died right there. No, I said I'd let it go. Sorry, I apologize. I'm just poking fun. I'm just poking fun. I'm not being real. If I was real, I'd be like... Or something they're related to. Yes. God, I went healer. Jesus Christ. Okay, I didn't even see what hit me there. Whatever. I haven't done this fight before, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go here. Okay, so I'm gonna go backwards, and I need to go this way. Oh, bullcrap, that hit me. Go, Maverick. No, everybody. This, not this. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Hey, I just got my res achievement. It is. Wow, that is just such bullcrap the way he layers that. Oh. So the way the forced march thing is you have to end your forced march in the blue bubble. So you look at where it's forcing you to aim, and you see if you can end up in the bubble. If you can hear me. I don't know if you have the stream up. If you don't, then I'm just talking to the air. So don't mind me. Now see here, air. And this thing hits 88.5. Hey, here we go. So I'm gonna be going left. So I'm gonna line it up. So I will go left into the bubble. Yay! Okay, let's start resin people here. Hey, I hit level 21. Is that everyone? That's everyone. Okay. Excellent. Soon we'll have access to Area 2. And then you'll be effectively caught up to me. Because I still don't have access to Area 3. Something easy and quick to implement from something else that is implemented into FF14 that's going to be better in FF14 than everything else. I have a lot of requirements there. What? Why are you attacking me? Go away. Hey, Anosians. Thank you as always. George Wargroove, as always. Much appreciated. Thank you. I just noticed I have nobody on this today. Do you notice that? A few $1,000 would probably do it, Eric. And by that I mean like $10,000. Because it's not funded yet, and then you want to shove it up the queue, so... But I do still appreciate the sub, as I always do. I will jot that down for Horizon. Whoop! I'd rather you not. Yeah, by the way, once you've gotten 25 clusters, make sure to grab your writing map. So you're not a slug, basically. bombing the area for no reason. There's nothing even going on here. They're just bombing the area. Typical. What? Huh? I'm actually confused by that. Oh, there's one. No, Bregman, no! No! Yeah. I can't think of anything, Tim. I think I'm just going to default on your question. Anything else I can think of, you know, that's good, is going to be done better in another game. Or it's going to be very difficult to implement at a 14. I don't think there's an in-between there. Oh, wow. I actually can't queue for that. Huh. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, I guess the answer is no. It's just... It's either going to take time or it's not going to be as good. Implement co-op in FF14. Well, that would take time and effort. And it would be better done in other games. So that's not on the table. Implement a dungeon journal? No way they're surpassing WoW in that. Add... Woo. Jumping platforming? That means completely overhauling how the entire jump mechanic works, and so forth and so on. So yeah, no. I default on that. Instead, I will go to the next question, which is most evil character I would still enjoy having tea with. My sister. But barring that... Assuming he had no reason to kill me, Delita would probably be a good answer for that. It is debate, obviously, because, you know, if he wants to kill me, then obviously I don't want to have tea with him because he's just going to poison me, you know? Or stab me after I've had the tea, or stab me while I've had the tea, or just, oh, there's all kinds of options here. It's not cool. Now, if I had infinite power, well, that changes the figure a little bit. Ooh, I like Professor Moriarty. Specifically the hologram Professor Moriarty. Ganondorf. I don't think Ganondorf likes tea. I could see Vayne, too. That's a good answer. Oh, there's one. Who's this Zira person? So why aren't they in my party? God! And why didn't they ask to be invited to the party? Yeah, I think Moriarty and Vayne are both good options. I'm not sure if Vayne drinks tea, though. Weyoun? I mean, he is immune to, you know, poison, so that's an option. Oh, bull crap! The spell went off, game. Come on. Come on. Damn it. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's go up here. I can see Braylon. Oh, Jesus. Have an interrupt. Well. Yep. That's what that is. That's life. Now I'll say thank you to Ciela in just a moment if I can. Oh, damn it! I just blew that on 0 or whatever. You gotta be kidding me. I've decided I don't like this encounter. All in favor? Drop it! Jesus Christ, game. Die, floor. You don't belong in this world. Whoop, whoop. I'll come. Let me know when it's done. I'll come res you. And yeah, there's just. Oh, God, this frickin' encounter. I can't even pay attention to where the actual things are to avoid. Oh my God, I can't even stop moving because there's so many different things putting different telegraphs on the ground. I think I went healer. God damn. This is ridiculous. Yeah, can we clear up this garbage? Well, that's a thing that just happened. Queen Zeal probably made good tea before her mind was destroyed by Lavos, so... No. This way. Okay. Oh, someone res Bregwin. Yay. Oh my God, these freaking enemies. Ah. Okay. Where's Braylon? Oh, you got rezzed. Okay. So Maverick's unlocking Area 2. I'm gonna go turn in my quest while he's doing that. Thank you, Ciela. Very much. Very, very, very much. As ever and as always. And Vigilant wants that to go to Rome Total War Remastered. You got it. Yeah, moment. There we go. Got it. And thank you again. You know, some days I can't keep ahead of the question queue, and other days nobody's asking me. Come on, hit me some questions. I have no viewers today. What's going on today? Where is everybody? Is there a holiday I'm not aware of? I know there's some sports going on, but most people don't care about Formula 1. Yeah, apparently everyone's just at Waffle House today. Everyone in the entire country. It's weird, really. Actually, what's funny is the stream is titled Quests, which tend to be some of the most boring, you know, content we cover, so that's probably why nobody showed up. I knew it, Pillars of Snow. Damn foreigners! It passes the time, Eric. Oh! And thank you, Larian, as always. I will jot it down for the Expanse. Whoop. Oh, this one. See, that's a good question. Before I answer that question, I've decided we're never taking questions ever. Until I've jotted down that donation. Alright, so if their current attempt at making PvP worth a damn fails, should they continue making attempting to make PvP worth a damn? That is a very good question. I'm a very, very strong proponent of the idea that just because you fail doesn't mean you give up. You know, it doesn't mean it's a failed endeavor. It just means your specific attempt failed. That being said, I do think that PvP should not receive that many resources, managerially speaking, because it's just not that big of a draw for a game like FF14, and to be as blunt as I possibly can, FF14 is not a game built towards PvP. You know, it's not a game where PvP is something that should be a fundamental... This is loud. It's not a game that PvP is really a fundamental core aspect thereof. It's just, you know, a nice little fun side thing. And that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with having a nice fun little side thing, but... all things considered, it shouldn't take that much effort and resources. That being said, if it does fail, it would depend on why it failed and how it failed before I would actually consent to pulling the plug on it. Yeah, let's get some grind music in here, shall we? That sounds like a good idea. Have ever had a cheap, mundane food done really professionally and high quality? Yes, actually. I have had very good fast food before. My favorite example of that is Little Caesars, which is weird to say, but it's true. There have been Little Caesars that are actually quite good. There's Maverick, there's Maverick. We lost Maverick! Yeah, I've also had really good scrambled eggs. I've made really good scrambled eggs. Cheesecake, it's another one, just straight cheesecake. Do I like Mexican food? Yes. I don't have a preferred dish, not really. I like Mexican food, like, a lot, actually. It's probably my favorite genre, nationality of food. How do I make a 2-hour game that's worth $60? Portal. I'm not joking. That really is the answer to that. The thing that determines the worth of a game that's that short is a combination of two things. Density, there's a lot going on in Portal, and replayability, there's a lot of reason to replay Portal. There you go. Bam, done. Turn it down a little bit more. Meanwhile, Eric is coming up with whatever ridiculous questions he can. Okay, help me out, Eric. Really good Mexican dish. I was gonna say, so wet burritos can be very good. Especially wet burritos with beef or meat or something they're related to. But chile rellenos are also fantastic. Although, much easier to screw up. Aw, we got here too late. Well, I will heal you nonetheless, Maverick. If I can heal you before you go by me. Yeah, oh, so a wet burrito is a burrito that's slathered in something. Usually sauce. That is way over there. Well, whatever, it's the only one up right now. Yeah, you can do it in chili verde, you can do it in red sauce, you can do it whatever. But the point is you slather it. Oh, tamales. Good tamales are just fantastic. Absolutely, I agree with that. In fact, I'm going to recommend tamales because it's harder to screw up tamales. And because good tamales are still fantastic, despite being relatively simple dishes. Man, I just had lunch. I don't think I'm going to make it in time. I'm going to try. Yeah, making tamales is work, absolutely. My goodness. I haven't made my own in an extraordinarily long period of time at this point. Because, you know, holy schmoly. Let's see. Other questions. Questions. Worst politician in fiction on account of competence. Vain. Let's see. Actually, there are several examples of politicians who they're, in fiction and in real life, who their contemporaries try to drag down, specifically because they are too competent, and they make them look bad by contrast, or screw up their plans, or whatever. So that's actually a thing. That happens. Emerald Layton. Alright, what else we got? Oh, of course. Okay, so I know Zadnor is a lot more metal, but it feels a lot worse in terms of overworld design. Like, the distance between events is really big, and the zones themselves are huge. So it's just, hang on. Oh, hang on, there's Gauss theme. Hang on, we gotta move on to, I don't know. What's another song we play here? Let's just go for the jugular. I can't unlock Area... None of us can unlock Area 3 yet. Well, except for Onyxia. And by that I mean Poses now. The only person who recommends it is the ones like, you know, if you were just a rich, wealthy, born into high nobility person like I am, then you'd be in much better circumstance. Ahem. 4 background tropes for a D&D character. The gritty, dark character was grown up on the streets and had to wrestle bears for food. Which, even though I say that in a joking manner, is an unfortunately common D&D archetype. The I'm completely unexpected is also a pretty common archetype. You know what I mean, right? Like, I'm an orc, except I'm a wizard. I'm, you know, God, I can't think of anything off the top. You know, you get the idea. They take something and they just go the direct opposite direction with it, and then that's their character archetype. It's a really common thing, too. And I'm not throwing any shade, by the way. I'm just saying these are common archetypes. Yeah, an elf that's a barbarian. There you go. No. What's the name of that, really, really snooty elf? Like the Eladrin or something like that? An Eladrin barbarian would be perfect for that. I forget what they're called. Anyways, and for the third archetype that I see most often, that would probably be the I don't actually know how to play a character, so I'm just going to play this like it's a video game character. I see that quite a bit. Wild Magic Barbarian. Is that actually a real thing? I thought you were joking. Oh, shoot, you're dead. Sorry. You can tell I'm paying attention. Here, I'll give you a buff to make up for it. I still think you're making it up, though. Let's see. Baby Pudding's not here. Cashel's not here. Oh! I already answered that question. Damn it! I already answered that question. I answered a lot of these questions. Hang on. So we're down to... Oh! No! I was trying to delete. There we go. Okay. Nope, someone died while I was trying to delete questions from the queue. Wow. I guess I asked for that. I was asking for questions. Sorry. Let's go back to healing tab for a second. I mean, I can do that, Eric, but I'd rather not, because that's just a pain, you know? I did ask. Is it the same wild magic table? The D100 table that, like, everything wild magic uses? Because if so, I'm picturing a barbarian that rages and then summons a unicorn. Or turns permanently blue. That's true, Yosin Corp. How dare you disagree with me? Or I guess I'm the one disagreeing with you. How do you ban yourself? Aw, it's only a D8. Pshaw, I say. Whoop. That's true. Alright, we're in the ancient cave. No, hang on, hang on. Ban Ross. Alright, we're good. It's all in its go-go here. Hang on, hang on. You know what? I think I know the perfect music for this. WoW music. There we go. No, no, not that song. Hang on, hang on. There we go. Perfect. Where's this stupid thing? Am I gonna make it in time? I'm gonna make it. Wow. Oh, yeah, it's 0. Hi, 0. Character from a setting that's not at the tier of 40k that would survive in 40k for more than 30 seconds. Whoop! You know what? I'm gonna give up on that. I'm just gonna go for this one. Hey, look, it's your mount, Mr. Red. Oh yeah, one of the mechs I noticed out here is the War Machine from FF1. First time I've noticed they actually have an FF1 War Machine model in 14. It looks kind of cool. I like what they did with it. It's that thing I'm killing right there. There we go. Oh, that was a thing. It even casts life-destroying spells. See, the problem is I can think of several characters that could survive in 40k for longer than 40 seconds. But most of them are from pretty big, high-tier settings, so I'm not coming up with much. Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt! Ugh. Do I just have aggro, or... Oh, no, okay, someone's just... Alright. You mind? Sorry, I'm debating something. Because this is taking a minute, right? And I'm not even at level rank 22, never mind rank 25. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to test and see how bad this actually was. It's certainly faster than Bozja, but it's still pretty bad, even with a decent squad and, well, no access to the third area, which I'm told is better. So, I think I'm going to temporarily give up on Bozja. Like, entirely. And just kind of give up on it. I think that's what we're going to do here. I think this is officially the point at which this is becoming a sunk cost scenario. So, thank you everyone for helping me test Zadnor and seeing how feasible it is. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I wanted to test, Kato. Was like, well, you know, with the group, let's see what our metal gain is. And it's not bad, but it would take probably the entire rest of the shift today just to hit level 25. Based on our current projections. Because I have been running a little bit of math in the side down, so that's not a good ratio. So, thank you everyone. I do appreciate. Let's go ahead and be a warrior. And give up on life. Immediate suicide. Ugh. Oh yeah, let's kill the WoW music before Valvatrix kills me. Yeah, that's the other thing. Not everyone has the next 5 hours in order to do that with me. So. I might do a little bit of off-stream, but I'm not going to commit to that. And that's the important part. If I do it, it'll be bonus, but I am not going to commit to it. That's where we're at with that. Cute dresses are important. Yeah, think of this, but 10 times worse. And that's why we didn't even touch Eureka. I actually need a minute. I'm sorry. My brain turned off a bit while grinding. I have that tendency. If I'm grinding, my brain just kind of goes chonk and automatically turns off as a defense mechanism. And I'm not joking. That's not being said as a joke. So I'll be right back. Gameplay. Easy answer. Okay. Can't say I chatted with you before. I think I remember I had. You've seen your fair share of fighting, haven't you? And wary besides. Rest assured, I've no secret designs. Name's Granson. Fighting hunter by trade. Mostly sin eaters. When I first laid eyes on you, I had a feeling you were a tough bastard. You know, the sort that might get mistaken for this warrior of darkness they keep talking about. Easy killer. I don't care who you are or what you've done. I'm just looking for a like-minded partner. But we're after a big old prize. Well, what our prize is a thing. Cardinal virtue. Decaicine. Actually, it'd probably be decaicine. Actually, it'd probably be decaicine? God, I don't know. Greek. Let's do it. But first, I have to prove I'm a good warrior. So Mr. Red asked, is there a character from a setting nowhere near the tier of 40k that can live in 40k? And the answer is no. The only characters I can think of that might be able to hang in 40k is this dress, right here. This shirt, right here. And, naturally, those Moogle shoes. So, it's not a doable thing. Oh, that's a little bit too big. There we go. Gygus is pretty high tier, relatively speaking, but at the same time, you have to remember the setting he's in is actually pretty low tier. His big thing was psychic power, and a fairly large amount of it, but even the psychic power Gygus presented is less than, say, Professor Xavier does over an X-Men, for example. So, you know, not that high tier. I'd ask where you got that mask, Eric, but I bet it's not in Shadowbringers, so never mind. Yeah, exactly. And X-Men's a high tier setting, so, you know. Well, yeah, the setting strength is relevant with regards to an individual's power level. Something may be very strong in their setting, but if their setting's low tier, I mean, Gandalf isn't that high tier compared to other settings because Lord of the Rings is relatively low tier, to use a direct example. Now, Gandalf's hard to gauge since, you know, he's an angel, but fact remains. Do I have my 70? I do have my 70 ability. Which is that, I think. Oh, nope, this is my 70 ability. I like my 90 ability. Excuse me, I don't know why I was calling it 70. Anyways, I killed them. Alright, well. Let's go kill more stuff. Okay. Do I have to? So Tim asks, let's assume Valve decides to make games again. One game a year. And yet somehow all of them are at AA or AAA quality and net positive. But selling this game for $0 hurt other developers. No. Would this be a good long-term thing long-term for the industry? Yes. It would get people experience. It would get people acclimatized to certain types of game development and fiscal responsibility thereof, rather than... Okay, so the $60 game price standard is actually something of a myth, even though it's a relatively recent thing in gaming history. And it's mostly there as a result of multiple compromises between people who are taking money that shouldn't and people who are taking money that shouldn't. And that's the simplest way I could put that. So selling games for $0 is something Valve could absolutely get away with and still make money. Like, they could. They could get away with that without hesitation. They would still be profitable if they did that. Now, it would also kind of be a jar for other companies because other companies would have less... it would be harder for other companies to get away with overcharging. And the many ways that companies go over the $60 line. And there are many. And it might be able to make people more aware, because Valve has a large market share. So it'd make people more aware of the fact that they don't need to go over the $60 line in order to have a good game. Oops, that's not Discord. That's not Discord at all! Is this the dress you got, by the way? Is it... I'm trying not to look up your dress, but I'm trying to figure out what pants you're wearing. Like, it's so hard not to look up your dress, Bregwin. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I could just go get that item. Interesting. It suits you, Eric. Alright, let's do it. Let's go kill this dude. So, gain 2 levels, come back, we're here. Yeah, exactly, blows the snow. I have no intention of leading us to the wilds. We're gonna start by asking a village in Kalusia, which has actually been attacked by this person. Okay, that makes sense. Justin says, the other day you named the worst movie experience in the theater. What's your best? That's tough. That's tough. I've actually had a lot of good movie-going experiences. Phantom Menace, believe it or not. Pretty much every Avengers movie, but really, Avengers itself is the big one. What is it? How do you... Okay, whatever. This town may not look like much, but to me, well... Anyways. Well, again, movies themselves are only maybe a third of what goes into a truly good movie-going experience. The crowd for Avengers was completely into it. You know what I mean? Every moment, every sequence of events was accented by what was going on from the audience. What do you want from me? Information. Sin Eater? The one who came and killed everyone? Oh god, is it here? Why are you talking about... No, no! Your father must be killed for the good of one and all. Pillars of Snow. Throw him into the machine! No, every time I mention enjoying a good, active audience, I get weird looks from everybody who's in Europe. Because apparently that's really a big social faux pas over there, which... Why even go to the theaters at that? Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. Granted, I am a bit of a social person, but... Why even go to the theater if you're not there for the audience? If you're not there to share in the experience? Here's the... Ah, there you are. I mean, at that point, just watch it at home on your DVD or Blu-ray or whatever the hell you got nowadays. But yeah, Endgame was a good one too. Avengers was a good one. I've actually already mentioned the Deadpool experience, which was just a great audience for Deadpool. Probably one of the best audiences I've ever had was the Deadpool one, honestly. But I think I'm actually going to give it to Infinity War. Because Infinity War was just right with it and going with it and excited. And it was all the stuff most MCU film audiences are. And then this happened. And the audience went dead in a way that is unusual and extremely bizarre. Like, there was just this emptiness to the audience. It's everyone. And it was a packed crowd, too. Everyone just went like they were holding their breaths. It was an experience. It was bizarre. Oh god, I know, right? Gundanium, just, oh. I was born and raised in Wright. Lacking any prospects, I eked out a living as a hunter. Might have tried my hand at something more exciting if I wasn't also providing for the love of my life. About a year ago, she accepted a commission from this Yulmorian trader. Bloke dealt in antiques. He had a bracelet in need of restoration. Bloody old with a questionable provenance, but supposedly it once belonged to royalty or some such. Fangs of Orthus. Anyways, we've been talking about trying the proverbial knot. Buying land, building a home. Around here that might not take much, but it was still a lot more than we had, so when the trader made his offer, she didn't hesitate to say yes. I'd gone down to the shipyards to pick up extra tools and materials. Quality stuff, but it'd pay for itself 10 times over. When I got back to the right, the Dick had been busy. I spied at least a dozen newborn eaters floating about, trying to make sense of their new lot. The grandmother who lived next door shared the fruits of her orchard with us. Gruff woodsmen had brought firestop. All of them were brought to mindless fiends, just like that. It wasn't time to mourn or think. I started looking for her, and there she was, alive and well. Our eyes met. We knew it was going to be alright. We ran for each other. And then, one moment she was there, right there in front of me, and the next, he knelt and took the fangs and left, leading a host of sin eaters out of right. But Melinda, I still couldn't see her as anything else. She wouldn't budge, just hovered there and waited for me to end it. I could never say no to her, not since in the years we'd been together. For all the time she'd welcomed me home with a bowl of hot stew, all the time she laughed at my crude jokes and gave me counsel when I was losing my way. For that and more, I killed her. I swore that in there I'd have my vengeance, that he would die by my hand. Carved by the scars in my flesh to mirror the one he left on my soul, an enduring reminder of the vow that I never stray from the path. There, all done, no need to wallow in it. Wouldn't mind my tragic trite tale to put you off our hunt. Yeah, I'm still with you. Yeah, the really sad thing is there's a lot of tragic tales, but there's a lot of tragic tales. Like, everyone who is currently living has some kind of tragic tale, and it's just like, you know, when it's just kind of the norm, then it's Poland. Sorry to have kept you waiting. I'm sure you're eager to get back to it as I am. Trouble is, in your absence, I failed to turn up any information. It's one line of inquiry I've yet to pursue, though, the fangs. The bracelet my beloved was supposed to restore that the eater took with him when he left the right. Sin-eaters are mindless fiends driven by base instinct. Everyone knows that. They don't need worldly possessions. Yet he took the bracelet anyways. Which means there's something unique about his particular antique. Or his bastard's somehow different from the rest of this ilk. Either way, we need to learn about it. And this camera is supposed to be showing you Yulmore, but there's a lot of fog right now. You know, I have not seen any Lord of the Rings film in the theaters. Death to the Brits. Or, I mean... defeat? Yeah. It is discovered the sun will die after 100 years. How do you react? Okay, so this is funny. So the second part of your question is, does this change your future plans? The answer is no. So how do I react is I figure out a way to stop it. Or, bearing that, figure out a way to live somewhere that doesn't involve the sun. Also, hi, Night Forger. Hi. Tell me information or die. I purchased the bracelet from a traveling peddler claimed as a relic of Vober. He spoke true from what I could tell, but after several casualties of a Sin-Eater attack, the fangs mysteriously vanished. I've been keeping in touch since, and blah 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 blah, but I will tell you more about it if you find it. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm not sure I remember the first movie I remember in theaters, because I've been going to theaters since I was literally less than a year old. Just like my niece, actually. It's weird to think about. Is there a point in Chrono Trigger where you hit a wall? A point you dread because it's boring or uninteresting? No. I can't think of any dull point in an overall section in Chrono Trigger. There are sections that interest me more than other sections. Pretty much everything to do with 600 AD is just gold. To me. But I don't think there's any wall. There is the last dungeon run, which is actually, like, I think it's 2.5 dungeons in a row, terminating in the Toronto lair and going into the fight with the Black Toronto, right before we get to the best part of the entire game, the first minute visit to 12,000 BC. Oh, and by the way, I have actual science to prove that that's the best part of the game. No, really. I believe I've discussed it in several of my streams about the game at this point. Okay, nothing there. Apparently, her husband is selling it. Okay, that's cool. Oh my god, Overseer USA. Should have been told the cop, listen, I've got to see Star Wars. Cop would have been like, alright, go. So we found it. Which is astonishing, really, but whatever. You have the luck of the Fae. Literally, actually, but, you know. Yeah, no, I've gone through Chrono Trigger again several times in my head just now, and I can't think of a moment which I dread, or a moment I consider to be down enough to be negative. In fact, it's going to be interesting trying to come up with negatives to Chrono Trigger. We'll do it. Every game has negatives, but, you know. It's Chrono Trigger. Ironically, one of the reasons I think Chrono Trigger succeeds so well is, and this is probably going to sound antithetical, but it's a very simple game. There's not much to it, both in story and in gameplay. But simple, as I've said many times, is not bad. And it's also easier to get simple right. Mercy. Mercy. Give me the fangs. Take whatever you want. Please don't kill me. I have a family. And dead. Well, her husband's worse than dead now, so that's cool. Well, you can already see the fixation of this particular ghost. Yeah, exactly. Chrono Trigger has no filler. Even though it actually does have optional content, a decent amount, it has no true filler. It's a fascinating game to discuss. I look forward to doing the full review of it someday. You know what? I just thought of a negative. Here it is. Biggest negative to Chrono Trigger. It doesn't have the ancient cave! So, favorite FF5 job. Okay. Second favorite FF5 job. Let me think about that for a minute. Hang on, I'm actually looking at a list. I think I'm going to go with Time Mage as my second favorite. That's a tough one. I'm also not counting the bonus jobs, because those are all just awesome. Samurai is pretty high up there, too. As is Dragoon. That's true. That's true, Ross. I could probably give a whole aggregate negative for that. Actually, no, I could think of a negative. Getting Frog his magic, which is more irritating than it needs to be. And you need it almost immediately because you get Frog right before Magus' lair. And you really want magic for that dungeon. Especially on Frog. Looking white, he took the choker too? Damn it. Damn it all. So yeah, no, I'll give you that. That's a negative. Absolutely. It's just like, right, I was too late to save him, just like I was too late to save her. Not again. Never again! Right. Neither the time or place. More eaters could be about. Every time I cut one down, it reminds me of my first of her. By the way, my actual favorite FF5 job 5 is Blue Mage. Blue Mage has been done well several times, but I honestly think it's never been done better than in the original incarnation in FF5. Blue Mage is actually really awesome in FF5. We may have failed to stop him this time, but what matters is we'll leave to see another day. Pity the scavenger didn't. And the wife doesn't yet know she's become a widow. I'll tell her what happened. I've been there, so maybe it'll help me to find the right words. Afterwards, we'll figure out what's going on next. Gun Mage is pretty fun in 10-2. Takes some work, but it was a decent take on it. The Golem Twins... There are actually several difficulty spikes in Chrono Trigger, which is hard to remember because, well, I know several people who find it hard to remember because of the fact that, you know, most of us remember that game in New Game Plus difficulty, aka not. So we tend to think of the difficult stuff as the late game stuff. Anyways, turns out they were taking up these things, up to Ilmeg. They got this treasure of Vobert. So the merchant gives it to Melinda. He attacks it. Takes it back. Meanwhile, the scavenger keeps the choker, locked away for safekeeping. When he finally decides to sell it, he shows up again. Which means... Ironically, I don't think the Magus battle is a difficulty spike. Hi, Gary. Because, first of all, there's plenty of build-up, and you're effectively building up to the quote-unquote final boss of the game. Remember, the first time you're playing Chrono Trigger, the first time you go to Magus' lair, you're going there to kill the last boss, the one who has summoned Lavos, the one who is the source of all your problems. So, it's built up properly in narrative, and it's built up properly in gameplay. with 2 major bosses and a huge, well-done dungeon leading up to it. And the fight itself is very well constructed. It's not unfair. It's just mean. So I don't think that qualifies as a difficulty spike. My opinion. Did I say hi, Gary? Hi, Gary. Yeah, the Ridderin or whatever, Riddenite, in the Restore the Forest chain is... That's a hell of a spike. Yakra the 12th is also a bit of a spike. Arguably, the Black Toronto is a bit of a spike. Although that's another built up too, so it's kind of more acceptable there. Excellent. What'd you make? Like, I know you were thinking about pushing away from... Golem Boss. I know you're thinking about pushing away from Paladin. But that's up here. Let's just do this. Bard. Okay, I'm with it. Are you going to go ahead and pick up the healer hench then? Because it's going to be your hench. I could do the healer hench, the bard hench, the fighter hench. I think those are the 3 best picks right there. And they have some interesting stories to them, so all 3 of them are, you know, decent storytelling. Clouds of Orthus. I've heard the name before, but nothing to that. Oh, wait, I know what that is. You should go over there. Oh, okay. I can do that. The ghosts in 2300 Ruins are kind of eyebrow-raising. I don't know if they would be full negative-worthy, but they're not good trash. The thing is, Chrono Trigger tried a lot of gimmick bosses. Or, excuse me, let me walk that back. Chrono Trigger tried a lot of gimmick encounters. I think it succeeds more than it doesn't, but I do think that with their spaghetti-at-the-wall design approach, there are a few things that fell into the cracks, and I do think those are one of them. How many of you didn't understand how to fight the Rubble the first time you encountered them, for example? Yeah, speaking of the Rubble. God, I hate this song so much. Get out of here, please. I don't know you, but you seem to know me. There are several ways to hit the Rubble. But so you know how the Rubble has really high evasion chance? Did you know crits happen before the hit chance roll in Chrono Trigger? Which means if you crit, then you automatically hit. There is no to hit roll. Now the reason that's relevant is there's multiple ways to up your crit chance, and crit is a controllable status. So if you've seen my Chrono Trigger TAS, I talk about this in far more depth. But the long and the short of it is, if you have 5 attacks and you do a save state here, and you do 5 attacks, this 4th attack will always be a crit. So there are ways to kind of track and measure that even when playing normally. So yeah, no, there are ways to go ahead and kill all the Rubbles pretty consistently. Anyways, the 5th was discovered yesterday. A young girl not as of age, transformed into a misplaced shape and beast like the others before her. As if we needed more proof of a pattern. At this rate, any citizen could be next. Tell me when you learn something from this one. I studied the remains myself. 'Twas plain a powerful magic had been employed. Vestiges of the enchantment lingered long after. The culprit, I think, is not a man to be trifled with. That's all I can say for now, but you may rest assured until I will ascertain their identity ere long. On my honor as court mage, I swear it. Until I do, however, I implore you and your fellow knights to dispatch any who turn or show signs without hesitation. But these are kith and kin. Should we not try to keep them alive until a way to reverse the transformation should be found? Your mercy would place countless others at risk. As a knight of Verbert, did you not vow to serve all her people? Justice for the weakest among us, was it not? How many innocents will die before you do what must needs be done? It pains me, Brandon, but the safety of the royal family is paramount. I fear that to take anything less than the most drastic measures would be to invite death to the castle. Death is already here. Surely you can see that. I will not let it be whispered that Princess Saldia turned a blind eye to her people's suffering. These crimes are a tragedy. Mine most of all. Or a tragedy that weighs on everyone's soul. Mine most of all, and that's why I will take charge of the investigation myself. My lady, be reasonable. You cannot put yourself in harm's way. You have a responsibility to your subjects. Am I to gamble with their lives instead? Let them shield me while I alone take shelter and look down on them from on high. Yes, exactly. You are their princess. You are Brandon, yes? New recruit? Promising one, from what the captain told me. You will attend to me personally. My lady? You heard me. I will not stand idly by when I have the power to make a difference. Together we will see justice done for all, as your vow and your princess demand. I understand. Forgive my hesitation. My life and sword are yours to command. Hi, Nemesis. I have great expectations for you. I trust you will not disappoint me. Right. No telling when our culprit will strike again, so we must begin the investigation at once. There are witnesses to be questioned, clues to be gathered. Come, come. Now? Lady Saldia. Lady Saldia. Ever the stubborn child. I wish you best of luck, Brendan. You will need it and more. What? Hey, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. What happened to you just now? Well? Lady Saldia. Ah, it's as I suspected. You have the gift like Brandon did. What do you mean he's like Brandon? Why have you come to me? What is it you seek? I see, and for this hunt of yours, you've come to Ilmeg in search of the Claws of Orthus. First, I must know you're capable of hunting the eater you seek. Okay. So, go fight some stuff. Okay. And while I go there, I'll ask Tim to clarify his question, because I don't understand his question. As for you, I have questions. Oh, time to go kill stuff. And get away from the song! Ah. So, Tim asked, game that has the highest ratio between depth and complexity. I'm gonna just go and not be honest that I don't understand exactly what you're asking, because I'm stupid. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Justin says, on Tuesday, the new 4K restoration of Motion Picture Director's Edition debuts on Paramount Plus. I'm excited to own it. Do you think the Director's Edition is a better version over the theatrical cut? Which one has the overture? Got it. In that case, I think I prefer the theatrical edition. Truth be told, I don't really remember any difference other than the overture. So, worst gaming OST I've ever heard. So I'd love to say Xenogears here, and I would. But the truth is I've heard worse since then. But it used to be Xenogears. There's been several games I've reviewed where I just had to straight up mute the game, though. So secretive. Can't we all just speak plain? Your comrade refuses to acknowledge his situation. This may take time, but I am patient. I have dealt with many a stubborn child in my life. Okay. Gotcha. So the least depth for its complexity, the most depth for its simplicity. Honestly, Final Fantasy VII comes immediately to mind. FF7 is not a particularly in-depth game, but actually astonishingly complex in what it allows and how you can play through it. And ironically, the inverse is also true. It is a very simple game with a great deal of depth to it. So yeah, I think I'll go with FF7. Oh yeah, by the way, gameplay and story access respectively. He's no better than the more aristocrats, so accustomed to making others do their bidding. I tell you, there's something off-putting about taking orders from a dog. Ere you continue and give me cause to reconsider aiding him, perhaps you should ask your questions. Fine. He had a vision of you and Brandon looking thick as thieves. You are friends. Do you know what he's up to now? Brandon's dead. He died a century ago. I presume you speak of the eater that took possession of his corpse. Yeah, but unlike most eaters, he's been doing more than roam about aimlessly. He's been hunting down royal treasures of old Vobert, and he's been killing anyone who got in his way. Even in a death, he remained slave to duty, a knight brave and true. He's a murderer, and I'll not hear it said otherwise. He ruined my life, killed my beloved. Every night I go to bed dreaming of the day I'll take revenge. Oh, I see. Truly, you have suffered a terrible loss, but while your thirst for vengeance is quite natural and understandable, it is ultimately misguided. Unusual behavior notwithstanding, Dakaiosin is nevertheless no more than an eater. To hate him is to hate the sea that claims the ship, the disease that steals the child, or the tremor that topples the home. The mindless force of nature that begets destruction, driven by fragmented memory. Don't dare make excuses for him. You think I wanted this? I grew up on a farm. I could barely wield a sword. Now I've got to kill one of the bloody cardinal virtues. Hate and anger and vengeance are all I've got now. My every waking moment is dedicated to plotting his death. It has to be. It has to be. So just tell us where the goddamn ring is and we're on our way. That's how it has to be. Who you have to be? No, I think not. You ask too much, demand too much, and in exchange for what? This I cannot abide. Trying to barter with me? Yeah, tell me what I want to know or I'll beat it out of you. I wouldn't do that. Back off, Lore. I won't let anyone stand between, or anything stand between me and Melinda's murderer. Dude. Brendan was a dear friend. To know that an eater disgraces his flesh and memory pains me more than I can well express. It would bring me great comfort if you were to grant him peace. I would like to share you the story if you'll join me in Ligia. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Reds. Drakengard is a perfect example of a game that has surpassed Xenogears in soundtrack. Soundtrack crap, that is to say. And remember that really short platformer game where you slice things in half we played during the short block? That game's soundtrack was so bad I muted it after like 30 minutes. So yeah, no, I've heard worse games since then. Tiny and Big, that was it. I actually enjoy the motion picture more than I used to, more than I thought I did. I'm not sure how to phrase that. When I went back through it for the rumination, which is admittedly a while ago at this point, it worked a lot better than I thought it would. The link before it's gone. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a great film. It's not. But it's not that bad. The memory of mine in which you walked was a troubled time when the people of our kingdom were preyed upon by an ambitious fool. Brandon, a young knight who had only just worn his spurs, had caught the eye of Princess Saldia, who chose him as her personal guardian. However, he was too inexperienced and was unable to keep her safe when she ventured outside the walls on her investigations. For his failure, he was stripped of his knighthood and shortly thereafter quit Vobert. I thought I would never see him again. One day he returned, one of several wandering adventurers led by a man named Ardbert, who had accepted our invitation to look into the mysterious transformations, which continued unabated in his absence. By the way, you can see by their gear where they're at, but also notice that she still has her helmet on at this point in time. So again, you can kind of track the timeline there. Lady Saldia was overjoyed. For a time, it was like nothing had changed. They spoke often and grew even closer. And then the day came when we learned the truth. When we learned that the architect of our kingdom's suffering was none other than the court mage, the guy who looks incredibly evil. Go figure. And yeah, I agree, Justin. It's funny, because Nimoy was sick of it, and was honestly trying to get out of playing Spock, and still put in a pretty good performance, because, you know, he was a professional. It's him, Brandon. I'm sorry. So am I. Come, let's have done with it. Oh, I remember this instance. I mean, look at him. It was you, Tadric. Do you deny it? Do not deny. Tormenting our people, twisting and transforming them into monsters. And for what? Brandon, after I took such pains to be rid of you. You may strip me of my titles, but not my oaths. I shall save Lady Saldia until my dying breath. As you like. Once I've killed you and your friends, there will be none left to stop me from claiming the throne. Hear me, my children, the hour of reckoning's at hand. Rejoice, for in noble sacrifice you will find everlasting glory. Lord Taldric, it hurts. Yes. Soon you shall know no more pain, 'cause I'm just generically evil. It was you, Lord Evilson! My machinations lay undetected for years! Dude, I don't know. What do we got? Evil villains are us. Saw a thing that was like, hey, this is how you make evil stuff happen. It's like, oh, cool, okay. Hey, DPS, do your job. Anyways, well, I just sit here mashing 2 over and over. That wouldn't surprise me, Bragon. Speaking of which, what is worse, tempering or light corruption? I personally think tempering is worse, but I tend to be pretty strong on the concept of free will. I feel like I've said that before recently, so... Light corruption is, let's call it what it is, killing you. It's a severe form of killing you, but killing you it is. Tempering is much worse. Now, the caveat there, the catch there, is that... Really? Really? The caveat to that is the fact that tempering has a cure. Recently, but you know, still. Whereas, you know, killing is dead. You're dead. You're gone. There's no coming back from being a corrupting thing. No, I don't think so, Tunnel Homer. I mean, there's some similarities, certainly, given the amount of ether interaction going on. Oh, let's do this. With me, Albert. Oh, the pain. By the way, I hope you like it, Justin. Sorry. In my haste to answer your question, I forgot to get across the idea that I am... Oh my god. rather enthused for you about the upcoming release. God, DPS kill quicker, Jesus! Such obedient children to offer up their lives in sacrifice. I would say tempering is worse than tranquility. Even knowing what we know about tranquility from Inquisition, I still stand by that. Tempering is pretty bad. I think many things in fiction worse than assimilation. Probably, but I'd have to think about it for a minute. It'll take me a minute. That's a good question, Tunnel Homer. At this point, I don't even know. Do not even know. Come on. Are you gonna cast? Or are you two just, like, hanging out? Okay. Or can it be both? I'm still debating your other question, so... Tranquility could... So it's actually a spoiler, so forgive me for not going in-depth into it, but let's just say there are things you can do with Tranquility and leave it at that for right now. Right, I need to look at the Wild Mage Rage option way back here. Each creature, whoops, that's locked, there we go. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d12 necrotic damage. You also gain hit points equal to the damage done. Jesus. Teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Until your rage ends, you can use the effect again on each turn as a bonus action. Oh, that's fun. An intangible spirit, which looks like a flump or pixie, your choice, appears in within 5 feet of one creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. That creature, every creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 force damage. You can use this effect every turn as a bonus action while you are still enraged. Oh no, yeah, you can summon another creature. Oh my god. Of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, take 1d6 radiant damage, and be blinded. You can use each turn as a bonus action. Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before your rage ends, that creature takes 1d6 force damage in retribution. Oh my god. When your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. Gain +1 bonus to AC, and while within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus. Flowers and Vines. These are amazing. I might steal some of these abilities. Flowers and Vines. Temporarily grow around you. Until your rage ends, the ground within 10 feet of you is difficult terrain for the enemy. Magic infuses one weapon of your choice that you're holding. Until your rage ends, the weapon's damage type is changed to Force. It gains the Light and Thrown properties with a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. If it leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of your current turn. Jesus! I like it. I like everything. Brandon, what's the meaning of this? Tadric, why? After serving us loyally for years. Yeah. That's always the Chancellor who's the evil one. Is the one who's loyal. Don't walk up to him. I am no servant. No servant. Not of your mother or father, you. I am evil, damn it. Well, that was extremely stupid on everyone involved. Just, what are you doing? Seriously, what was that nonsense? Dude, chop his head off. Seriously. Double tap. Learn to double tap so crap like this doesn't happen. Lady Saldia, speak to me. Brandon, dear Brandon, am I your princess still? Would you honor your vows even now? Now and ever, my lady. The sword is yours to command. That is well. Would that I had the strength to wield it myself. Steel your heart, brave Brendan, for the good of Vobert and her people. No, 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 I cannot. I will not. Honor your vows to your kingdom and to your princess. Bit of a size difference there. The question is, are you re-enjoying the Dark Knight's Act Out? To your friend who never doubted you, who knew that you would return to see justice. Justice. No, it should be me. Brandon, my sword, now and ever after. Oh, hi, Silva. We found her up with Tadric's co-conspirators and tossed him in the jail. The ones who hadn't been corrupted by his magics, that is. Silva seems pleased by the lightning, or the crystal, as she always is. I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. I will kill everyone, even all of Stratholme if I must. Sorry. Well, yeah, this is what happened. Oh my gosh, this is what happened. Explain. Wicked White, she begged him to do it, just like Melinda. Come, let us quit this place and return to Bad Music Town. I mean, that's why it was so well written, Tara. It was a true Kobayashi Maru. No options, no out. Bad or worse. Pick. Let's see. Classes. Fighter. Looks like the current meta for Fighter. Battlemaster is top tier. Cavalier is apparently top tier. Echo Knight is top tier. Eldritch Knight is top tier. Jeez Louise. Samurai is also top tier. That's over half of them. Good God. Oh. Thank you, S.A. Ross, very much, as always. And I suppose you always know the question. Thank you. Do you know why I entered the royal family service many long years ago? Because when I was attacked by a wild beast which nearly tore me to shreds, Lady Saldia came to my rescue. She saved me, and that is a debt that can never be repaid, for there is naught in the world which holds greater value than life itself. Not even her death absolves me of it, and so I must always consider her wishes and her desires, what she would want for her and her kingdom. For Brandon, and yes, even for you, grandson. Me? To define oneself in opposition to the other, an other bereft of complexity of nuance, wholly devoid of redeeming qualities. A villain. Indeed, there is a comforting uncertainty in hatred. I don't know, Ross. Give me a backup. I'll look into it later. But it's a false and fleeting comfort. Bought with lies, we tell ourselves about who we are and who we must be and what we must do. And never you mind the cost. If anything, the more we offer up in sacrifice, the better. Don't you see? Brendan was right to hesitate and to doubt. The unwavering blade cares not whom it cuts, nor whom it serves. I think I need a moment. Perhaps you do as well. Okay. And I'll put it down for Prodigy as a backup. Thank you again. Grandson, I have given you ample time to consider the path that has brought you here and where it inevitably leads all who walk it. I didn't know what to do after I lost Melinda. How to mourn her, how to live. I felt like if I put all that on him, put everything on the hunt, at least I wouldn't have to think about myself or what comes next. I wanted to hollow myself out and fill the hole up with hate. Forget who I was. Irony of ironies. That's just what the poor bastard tried to do a century ago, isn't it? Hard men making hard choices. What rot. Yeah, let's go with think of Melinda. In a good way, not a bad. Ah, you're right. I don't need the hate. I never did. I'll finish it for Melinda and for Brandon. And then I'll move on. Move on, you say? Yeah, I can't live off hate. Shouldn't have made it this far, frankly. The more I try to reach for it, the more I find sorrow, pity. Curse not fate, but mourn her victims. Remember the dead as they lived. Aye, something like that. Reckon Laura would agree. And Melinda, if she were here, would probably slap me a dozen times and call me a bloody fool for acting the way I have. Or maybe you've been thinking of doing that in her stead, huh? Well, yeah, but, you know. Apologies for treating you with just such disrespect. I'd like to claim I understand what you've been telling me all this time, but I think I'm still getting my head around it. Well, recognizing our faults is the first important step. I'll tell you what I know about the Claws of Orthus. The ring, and the three others, were relics passed down through the royal generations, signifying right to rule. Princess Saldia had them, band of thieves or their assistants stole them. The relics were concealed with magical wards. I can only presume that once spirited away, Dakayo sign was able to sense their presence. Even in death, a slave to duty, huh? You think he pursued the thieves out of an instinctive loyalty to a princess? It's a little bit more like he's not a he anymore. Imperative programming, etc., etc. Distant echo, ghost. We've talked about this. Anyways, go to this place. Use this, the glamour will go away, you'll see the chest, and then you'll kill him, and everything will be cool. We'll go try to bring your friend peace. Dude, her friend has peace. We're just trying to get rid of the thing that's disgracing his memory. This is more about giving you peace and making sure nobody else gets, you know, murder, death, killed for no good reason. That's probably closest to here. So Tim asked a question earlier I've been chewing on. So let's say World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, and Guild Wars 2 have the creative and financial and legal freedom to do a crossover event one with another. So what does each MMO do with the others? So I'm going to presume under the circumstances that Guild Wars 2 has to include WoW and FF14, and FF14 has to include WoW and Guild Wars 2 and so forth and so on, right? So yeah, obviously, automatically, my thoughts turn to some of the more iconic and excellent raids in WoW to dump into 14. Icecrown is the obvious answer, but there's also been some other fantastic fights over the years, including pretty much everything about the Blackrock Foundry, and most of Antorus would also qualify. The problem is there's actually a lot of directions you can go with that. There's so much content in WoW that would be done well in 14 that it's hard to pick which one, you know? Ragnaros is kind of your classic boss, so if we want to go back to vanilla like that, we could. There it is. Claws of Orthus. Nice ring. I actually think I'm going to agree with Tunnel Homer. I feel like a BRD series that terminates in a fight with Ragnaros is probably the best direction to go there. And ironically, Ragnaros is a crap fight in WoW. But you know, we could turn it into a good fight, because we're doing it in 14. That's an interesting thought. Design a Ragnaros fight in 14. Honestly, actually, I take it back. There is a very good Ragnaros fight in WoW. That's the one in Kata. Yeah, meanwhile, to flip it around, WoW is pretty much the raid and boss design king, and has been for years. So pretty much just take your favorite fight and dump it into WoW, and there you go. There's your answer in reverse. Hades is probably an excellent example of that. I'm not sure which direction to even take that in, because yeah, there's a lot of directions we could take that in. Oh no! Whatever. Yeah, basically just doing a Lich King raid, and just kind of working your way through all the significant Lich King characters, terminating in the Lich King. Both of those have a lot of promise. I'm actually kind of torn here. I mean, I've said it before and I've said it again. The FF14 main character is stronger in lore than the WoW main character. So, we might actually be able to take on the Lich King by ourselves. God. And then you get to the Lich King Savage fight. And that's just mean at that point. I bet I could design an extraordinarily mean Lich King Savage fight, if I wanted to. I think I like the idea of a Lich King raid series better than the idea of a BR, Molten Core raid series. It's my opinion. Now, Guild Wars 2 is a little bit trickier to get into either. Because to be as blunt as I can, FF14 engine, the engine of FF14, literally cannot do any of the big raid fights in Guild Wars 2 justice. Because they're all ancient dragons, which are the size of this entire zone. That's not a joke. Like, the only way you could do that is if the zone itself was, the boss fight, and that's problematic. Doable. Problematic. And anything other than the dragon fights just wouldn't work all that well. I mean, I don't know how that would even work, FML word. I don't know. Let him go. He's not your bloody puppet. Finally. You watching, Melinda? No, she's dead. Now and ever after, my lady Saldia, my sword is yours to command. I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Wait, is he trapped in the memory still? You're wrong, Brendan. It's not what she would want. Let go of your anger. Let go of her. I hate to keep interfering with these nice scenes, but remember, that's not them. Brandon's gone. Brandon's been gone for a century. This is an echo of a memory, nothing more. Without making me lesser in your eyes, wouldn't it? To shoulder a burden that need not be mine. No, I will not forsake compassion and love. I will not dishonor your memory. Oh, my lady Saldia. It's actually funny to me because almost every one of these side characters talks to the cardinal virtues, even though they're talking to a recording. Yeah, exactly. It is for the characters. It's for that guy right there. The virtue's gone, has been gone. One last pattern before the energy dissipates. And with that, the three treasures of the royal family are reunited. Now we've just got to find a place to stick them so no scavenger stumbles on them again. You can just hold on to them. These are going to do for the princess and her knight, am I right? Maybe Solul will have some ideas. Let's head back. Okay, I thought about it. I know which character you would fight in both WoW and FF14 from Guild Wars 2. And the funny thing is, it would be a completely different fight in both of them. Yes, you should, Mr. Red. Aloha Joko. It's such a dumb name. It's such a dumb name. It doesn't really do the character justice. It's part of his appeal. He's not named the Lich King. He's not named the Destructor or Dakarianin. His name is Palawa Joko. Till you saw when we arrived. Do you even need to ask? No, I suppose not. Oh, my dear friend, I pray you have found peace. What of you, grandson? Has the turmoil in your heart subsided at last? I suppose so, although to be honest, it felt like I made peace with him even before we fought. Because you finally saw him for what he was and accepted the truth in your heart. The battle was just an afterthought. Easy for you to say. You don't have to cross blades with the bloke. By the way, I brought you some gifts. The 3 royal relics. Then he was safeguarding the bracelet and the choker. And now it's your turn to look after the whole lot. That's what she and her knight would have wanted, I reckon. Yes, of course. That their souls may sleep soundly forevermore, we shall enshrine these relics for all eternity. Until someone digs them up and sells them for a few bits of coin. So hear me out for a second. So you'd fight Palawajoko here in 14, right? But you'd fight his army in WoW. And the idea is that he's, like, the whole crossover event of all 3 MMOs has actually been started by Palawajoko. And he's trying to reach out through the mists into other dimensions in order to stretch his armor and his... And by armor, I mean army. Sorry, I was distracted by that armor. What is that? His army, and stretch out his hand and his influence throughout the mists into other worlds. So Palawajoko's army leads into World of Warcraft, because, oh, it's this big, huge, terrifying place with powerful warriors. He needs to send his full forces there. But there's nothing that can oppose Palawajoko in the source, right? So he just comes here himself. And, well, we kick his ass. And then he gets back up, because he's Palawajoko, and he's like, I'll be back! And then he flees back to the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire story arc. And there you go. That's his arc right there. Orange syrup to hot chocolate? Palawajoko, he's actually a very complex character who stretches across both Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. The simple answer is he's a lich. But the thing is, he's really not all that fancy compared to many, many, many much stronger, higher-tiered, higher-powered characters in that setting. Guild Wars is a very high-powered setting, right? Palawajoko should be a joke, and yet he's the one who keeps enduring and keeps persisting because he's smart. He is very clever, and he is very capable of understanding when he should show his hand and when he shouldn't. He knows how to accept loss, and he knows how to not get involved in things that he shouldn't get involved with. Think Lex Luthor, except he also happens to be an undead lich, and you've kind of got it. Can't say I feel home out here on the right or anywhere else, so I might spend some time on the road. I might not be as skilled a fighter as you, but I reckon I'm better than most. I can make some job as a reliable sword hand. See, the funny thing is, it's really easy to underestimate Palawajoko, just like it's easy to underestimate Lex Luthor. Because he's just a dude. With a dorky name. And, well, that's why he runs a I don't know what to call it in Guild Wars terms. He basically conquers a nation. And he mostly does it out of revenge. Just to prove that he can. Okay. That's interesting. How am I gonna make this? It's something I could do that doesn't involve me voice acting. Of what's left, because we've got class quests, which have no voice acting, role quest, no, sorry, the role quest, which has no voice acting, the void quest, which has no voice acting, and the last quest, which has no voice acting. This is not an ideal circumstance. I'm about to receive a phone call, which means I will have to mute myself. And I don't know how long I will be on the phone. So... Yep, there it is. Well... Yes, I'll unmute myself for this while I explain what streaming is. So, hey, streamers, this is my dad. This is Lore Dad. What did it... That's right. And, what did it... well, I'm not giving that part away. But what happens is I'm playing a game. It's actually Final Fantasy XIV is the game I'm playing right now. And I've got chat over there. And so they can see the game, they can see me, and we can see chat. So I respond to chat, and they talk with me while I stream and talk back with them. Sense make? So it's live. I mean, it's a couple hundred. It's not that much. Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if you remember that series. I know, they made quite a few of them, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Inner Light. Inner Light. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that episode is powerful and kind of terrifying, if we're being honest. I think it's like 30 minutes in real time, and his perspective is something like 60 years, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they died out. So the recording ended pretty much when they were sending off the thing the recording had in it. So, like, obviously they couldn't put any more information past that point, so that's when it stopped. That's when the information stopped. Was them sending out the beacon that would eventually find him and convey the information to him. Mm-hmm. They never tell us the exact specifics, but we know that something was going on with the sun, and we know that, yeah, it was affecting air ability, and, like, the oceans were drying up, so... Yeah, that... Mm-hmm. Great episode, yeah. I think you could find it on... Help me out, because I know they pull it off Netflix. I'm asking chat now, sorry. Hey, chat, where can my dad watch TNG just right now, like streaming services, other than Paramount Plus, because I know they have it all on Paramount. You know. Paramount started their own streaming service, and I roll my eyes at that, but all of Star Trek's on it. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, hang on. There we go. It's been cold. It's weird. Mm-hmm. It's, here, I'll go and mute myself. Chat, he's making fun of me. Could you defend me here against my dad? Do not hit the subscribe button. Do not hit the like button. No, do not hit like and say don't. Also, I don't think those things are on Twitch. I'm not even sure. I don't watch streams. What am I doing? Where is this quest I'm doing? There it is. That one. Boom. So we've killed all the cardinal virtues. Meanwhile, von Falkenstein is being taken over by a cat. Thank you, Doom Rider. Very much. As always. Much obliged. Much appreciate. I don't suppose you know what you want to put that towards. Lore's choice. You got it. Yeah, only subscribe. Don't like. Wait. Do not like my content. I'm a hate. What do they call? There's actually an official term for that, for people who get money by getting people to hate them. The great hunter himself. That's a real thing. I'm not even making that up. I don't understand how that works. As if you don't know. All 4 cardinal virtues laid low with your help. You're the talk of the stairs. When the night returned to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon, but never did I dare hope you would help us rid of those terrible fiends. You surpassed my wildest expectations. Hi, Sayella. Not mine. When I first laid eyes on him, I had an inkling he was the hero we've been waiting for to come along. Easy to claim after the fact. If you'd indulge me, I'd love to hear how it all played out. The hunting, that is. Yeah, sure. So there was this idiot. And then there's this decent folk kid. And then there's Giot, and she's kind of awesome. And then there's, Granson, and he's actually pretty awesome, too. My word, there's more to it than I realized. And there I thought you'd only had to track down the bloody things. Gods, though, the things you learn about the Warriors of Light. So many secrets and details lost over time. For all the hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought the flood? Can't say I understand it all, but it's a bloody tragedy, it is. He just wanted to hear my voice, Justin. He doesn't like the fact that I'm extraordinarily busy. And he's not subtle about expressing that. I also don't think he understands how hard I work for a living, to be blunt. But I do love him, and I can take a few minutes to talk with my dad to remind him that I do care about him, and I do love him, because he's my dad. Heroes of old, brave and true, to be remembered forevermore. Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you up to offer a fortnight's stock of spirits. Attend to the other customers. Let me speak with the hero of the here and now. That has never changed, Eric. So... Lore, I must thank you for sharing with us such incredible tales. 'Tis only right I repay you in kind. With the ending, that is, with the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues, the devil more deserving of death than any that lingers in this world. If your curiosity is piqued, meet me on the balcony. Okay. So Mr. Ed asks an interesting question, naming conventions of the Char. So, he also asked the wrong question, because there are no naming conventions of the Char. The naming conventions of the Char are noun, adjective, or, if you're feeling spicy, adjective, noun. The real question to be asked there is, what is this person wearing? No, it's, how do they do names? How do they decide names within the Char? Because your parents don't actually pick your names, because there's no real family units as we know them within the Char. So let's assume for a moment that, Mr. Red is actually my son. Okay? Now, Mr. Red doesn't give a crap about me, and I probably don't give a crap about him. Because that doesn't matter to the Char. When I'll go ahead and raise him a little bit, but when Mr. Red is very young, and I mean like cub range, Mr. Red will go ahead and be linked up with a pack. Now, I forget what they call it. There's actually a very specific term for it, but that's his family. His tight-knit group, and it's all people his age, and it's all children, and they all, work together and move together. They learn to hunt together, and they take care of each other, and blah, 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 blah. And usually they die. They don't always. Because they're children taking care of themselves. Now, they can get help from adults, and they can get shelter and aid from adults, but by and large, most of the growing up is done on their own. And this means their family unit is actually that group, not whatever they're actually connected with. Now, this actually causes problems, as you might imagine. This is an old policy of the Char, and it's actually acknowledged in-universe as being deleterious to them culturally, as well as just straight up in terms of numbers. Because the Char kind of kill off their own kids en masse. That's not me exaggerating. This is one of the reasons why the Char try to divvy up into a second family unit. This is actually a more recent change in their history, relatively speaking, which they call the legions. Each legion then becomes your second family, and then that way you can have something that tries to have some kind of that familial pact thing going forwards. Back during Guild Wars 1, the Flame Legion was in charge, and it actually causes all the issues of the initial prophecy in Guild Wars 1. But by the time of Guild Wars 2, you've got Iron Legion, which is all about mechs, suits, technology. You've got Blood Legion, that's your infantry. And you've got Shadow Legion, which is about your infiltration, sabotage, spy network, etc. And Flame Legion is kind of pariahs for what happened in Guild Wars 1. And there's a few other lesser legions, but that's the long and the short of it. There's also been a movement during Guild Wars 2 time to try and be more hospitable and trading and interacting with other races, because the Char are on the way out during Guild Wars 2's time. They're a dying species, for lack of a better way to put it. And I'm not going to spoil any more about that right now. That's just at the beginning of Guild Wars 2. Who do you like best, Ross? Because that's the answer to your question. Because of how the sphere grid works, with a little bit of time and effort, anyone can be turned into anything. It's arguably one of the weaknesses of that game. So, whose cosmetic do you like best, and whose limit breaks do you like most? That being said, I strongly recommend thinking about getting Riku in your party, because her mix ability is the strongest thing, generally speaking, in the game. It's I recommend looking up a mix guide, and I recommend using it. You came as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave all alone, or a demon you could let live, am I right? And this demon is undeniably deserving of death. Make no mistake, to cut them down would be just and proper, the act of a goodly person, and that's just what you are, I can see that. No need to go impatient or offended, my friend, but before you pass judgment on this villain, you need to first understand their part in everything. Who they were to the fallen warriors of light, for instance. Of course, right about now, you must be wondering how I know all of this, what a tavern wench of all people has to do with all this. Let me tell you, then. I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them, and bade you join them in their quests. I alone knew what to be done, and what sort of sinner would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal come to an end. But come, we have many moms ahead of us still. To Kalusha. Waka's limit break is also good. So is Orin's. So is Tidus's. Those 4 limit breaks are pretty much the best, I would say. Like, objectively the best. But again, that's just if you care. You don't have to care. You can just go with whatever thing looks coolest. Like, Lulu's limit break is kind of garbage, but, you know, she's Lulu, and several people... Nobody in chat right now really likes Lulu, but if you happen to like Lulu, for 2 reasons, then... I'm just poking fun, don't mind me. Then level Lulu. Like, I once did a playthrough of FF12 where my party was Penelo, Ash, and Braun, just because I thought they had cool animations. And I was like, alright, let's do it. Oh yeah, Yuna's limit break kinda sucks. Which one is Lulu's? Or more accurately, which event is required for Lulu's ultimate weapon? Because I never remember which is which. Interesting outfit. You're accustomed to delay? Oh. Yep. Dodging lightning. Yeah, don't go for Lulu's ultimate weapon. Just don't. Just don't. You are accustomed to life on the road. I see. As am I. Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here is where it began, where Ardbert first met Lamit. Yep, this was the beginning of the party. He nearly died at level 2 to some hobgoblins, and she happened to heal him. Still young and lacking in experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making, even the keen-eyed could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, after joining their other companions, Brendan and Renda Ray. And one other, an elven woman, not bad with a sword. Ah, perhaps you're already asking the questions. Who? There were 5 warriors in light, but she would make 6. Indeed, after adding Nilbert, there does seem to be one too many, but believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history, and her name was Silva. Yeah, we've seen her in every single one of these questions. Though, I doubt I need convince you of this truth. When you walked in the Virtue's memories, you saw her time and again, did you not? Then you saw the true villain, the traitor, responsible for all their woes. Let's continue the story elsewhere. To Amarang. Also, another piece of advice. Don't go for the ultimate weapons in general, Ross. I'm serious. They're good. How do I explain this? So the ultimate weapons have no customization to them. You cannot add or subtract suffixes to the ultimate weapons. So they're good. All of them are good. But they're all a specific type of good, which may or may not be fitting your playstyle. And it is possible, based on what you're going for on your build, to make better. And frankly, it's easier to make better. So, that's my advice on that part. And yeah, every ultimate weapon has some bullcrap associated with unlocking it. Some is worse than others. I know some people hate the butterflies, but honestly the butterflies is probably one of the easier ones to do. There's the Chocobo race, which is also relatively easy. The Blitzball thing takes forever, even if you know what you're doing, which requires a guide, or knowing what you're doing. Dodging 200 lightning bolts in a row without fail is insane. I've never done that. I think I've mentioned that before. I had to hand off the controller to Charlie to do that one. So I've never done that. Yeah, anyways. You saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name in Kalusia. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale, and you will learn. Silva joined the others before they first met Nilbert. After the party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines. Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. And another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground. They had no choice but to work together to lay it low, but to their dismay, even after death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked towards each other in confusion, Nalbert strode towards the beast's body and grabbed a curious stone, a stone brimming with untold ether, that he had sought out that they might harness it as a potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift. But so powerful was the stone, it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat. And so when faced with the choice between one life and countless others, he wept and shattered the stone. He held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice he was judged a hero, and in that instant a warrior of light was born. The Dark Aeons, von Falkenstein. In life, Nilbert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity were admired by all. Little wonder in death he would retain his virtue. But as Nilbert mourned the friend he forever lost, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment. They had taken the first step on their path toward becoming heroes brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you may wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika. I will say this of FF10. I think the less optional stuff you do in FF10, the more you'll enjoy it. So Ross, if you're still listening, you remember how you were upset at me about the Ocarina of Time review, and I understand your purpose, but the thing is, FF10 is probably one of the most games affected by that policy. If we just covered the main story quest, so to speak, of FF10, it would probably actually review quite well. It's not grindy. Its main story quest is very legit. It has a few issues with the dialogue and with the voice acting, but otherwise it's pretty good. But every optional thing drags the score down, and I do mean all of it. Even the stuff that's good is also bad. FF10 is one of the grindiest non-MMOs I've ever played. My actual 100% save is 100-something hours. This place, too, is familiar to you, no? From days recent and long since past. No. 10-2 is a completely standalone game. Think of 10-2 like Majora's Mask. In every way. It is a direct sequel to 10. How much grind do you have to do to have fun with the Sphere Grid? None. That's the thing. Now, if you want to really go into the Sphere Grid, you have to do an insane amount of grind. You have to unlock the monster arena, do the monster arena, and then the way it works is you have to grind like this one boss in order to get the items, to grind another boss, to get the items to grind a third boss, to get the items to be able to affect the Sphere Grid, to be able to attack the fourth boss, and it's just grind all the way up, and I'm not exaggerating. It's just grind, 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 grind. And it does kind of... how do I explain this? It snowballs at a certain point, but it is just face melting grind. And yes, the arena was in the American version. It was in the original version we got here in the States. Hi, Evo. Yeah, speaking of interesting things, after the events in Amarang, Ardbert and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges, and in pursuit of another, they came to Raktika. While here, the hunter Rendaray learned the notorious mark Balam Quits was nearby, and so, under the cover of darkness, slipped away from others to slay the beast herself. Like Nilebert before, of course, you already know her motive. She was robbed of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress her balance. Moreover, she would not dare to risk the lives of her new comrades. So terrified was she of the mere possibility that she might have to someday relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balamquitz alone, and would surely have died for it had the Arbert and the others not arrived in time to help. Like Nilebert before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, her resolve, she was chosen by Hydaelyn. And from that day forward, she swore never again to betray their trust, to share with them their triumphs and tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. The bravest, most courageous hunter that ever was. That moment would define what she became in life and in death. Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation, 'twas fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer looked on, more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, there we go, unaware they were dancing to her tune. Their journeys continued, and so must ours, to Ilmeg. Very well, Esseros. Stab! See, by that logic, the labyrinth in Lufia shouldn't be considered either. Although, the real problem, and let's just get down to brass tacks here, imagine if you decide which parts of a game count for a review, and which parts don't. That opens up a huge can of wriggling gawk. You know what I mean? Like, that is such a can of worms that has no end. Because every game, there's going to be a debate. Okay, hang on. What counts? What doesn't count? How do we qualify this, and this, and this? How about this? How about this? A 3 positive optional content in a game? So my knee-jerk thought to that would actually be Triple Triad, but actually Triple Triad is also a negative thing, so I'm not sure about that. Raw and wriggling on Falkenstein. As beautiful now as it was then. You saw it too, would you not agree? The death of Balam Quits. The legend of Ardbert and its comments had grown larger than ever, thus emboldened they came to the kingdom of Vobert. Vobert had long been troubled by what some called a magical plague, innocents found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom knight has no choice but to put down ere the contagion spread. But it turns out it was man. But then he had to kill the princess. We literally just saw this. Thus did he finally embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together and strives for greater good. A long, difficult road from which many stray. Settling for simpler moralities, but I would expect no less from the man who became Dicaiosine. His sacrifice would strengthen the transformation, fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so too did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. It was not yet finished. To Kalusia they returned, and so must we. How is she getting around? I know how we are. No, they're the same game. Because there is only Persona 5 Royal. Indeed, if you were paying attention, that is exactly what we did. Other than Triple Try, what's a 3 positive mini game? Because I can think of plenty of side content that would be triple positive territory. After all, we've covered several in the game we're covering right now. Spleesh. That's not 3 positives. Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Words of their deeds in Vobert spread like wildfire. Their legend grew even larger, but for all their success, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice. They pressed deeper into the depths of Raktika, towards ancient Ronka. There, the dwarf Lamit came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, she would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, want to withdraw from the outside world that their traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help. But Lamit would not abide this. She vowed to save her ailing kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this she was banished by the Council of Elders. Yeah, we actually already know this. So she was chosen too, yeah. Through hardship and sacrifice was the new warrior of light forged, a healer that knew more than the value of a life, and would do anything to see it preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would complete the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual, and soon, very, very soon. For Ardbert and his companions had stumbled upon evidence of a larger design. Threads linking together the disparate troubles of the realm. A name spoken of only in whispers. The Shadowkeeper. A singular force sowing chaos and discord throughout Norvrant to an unknown end. If the Warriors of Light truly wished to save their world, then they would need to confront this villain among villains. And in the end of their exhaustive search, at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms? That answer waits us in Lakeland. The villain yet walks amongst us, Lord, unknown, unpunished. Don't wait me at Laxon Loft. There are preparations to which I must first attend. Best solo MMO. I elaborate? Because that can mean a lot. Best MMO to play on your own. WoW and FF14. And Guild Wars 1, but not 2. And Star Trek Online. Not in that order. I wouldn't recommend soloing Guild Wars 2. That's actually kind of mean. Oh yeah, get your lore shocks ready. The Shadow Keeper was always her, the woman we've seen this entire... yeah, lore shock. Notice they're in their final gear, by the way. Damn yourself over, comrades in arms, friends! That we were, and that we are. Everything I said, everything I felt, it was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadow Keeper. What the hell was this for? It's funny, because she's actually a paladin. For you, for every one of you, to forge you into heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend no matter the cost. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. The mournful hunter, scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others, and by her sacrifice, a warrior born. The disgraced knight, who yearned to steal in his heart in justice's name, and by his sacrifice, a warrior born. And a troubled healer torn between tradition and love, and by her sacrifice, a warrior born. And their leader, an adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his dearest comrades, who must now bring an axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek, the keeper of shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle will this world be shattered and its soul saved. Rawr. Saw it all, did you? I thought you might. Mother's gift has a knack for showing us exactly what we need to see, if not what we want to, or when. Yeah, and then she turned into a horrible dog creature, which we fight in Eden for some reason. They knew me as Silva, but my real name... Like you, I am not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell to the dark in a calamity that mirrored the one which nearly claimed this world. I was one of several heroes who failed to save it. The boy, Unuklai, I have glimpsed him in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, you remember him, by the way, from the Warring Triad arc all the way back in Heavensward? I heeded the words of the Ascians, and, that I might redress the balance, chose to come here and hasten the rejoining of worlds. A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium. But there was a solution, a single solution, I believed. Were a flood of light to consume the shard in its entirety, would be of no more use. The Ascians made it clear it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to the light, fledgling heroes in the making. I would bring together Ardbert and his comrades and groom them for higher purpose. I would play the part of comrade, guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them. Until finally, once they were the warriors of light, brave and true, I would reveal myself as warrior of darkness and extinguish their radiance forever. Thus would the world be primed for a rejoining and the source of a calamity. The Ascians, who called themselves Mitron and Logrif, were so confident it would succeed, and indeed, Ardbert and the others rose to the occasion, as I knew they would. It was not to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him had made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror I had grown stronger for it. Had he but embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy, and he chose love, and I was undone. The rest you know. He sought out Mitron and Logrif, granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and the flood came and washed it away. In the wake of my betrayal, I would look on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as it all fell to ruin. Denied death then and now, and perhaps ever after, as a fragment of my essence endures. Yeah, she's pretty old. But then one day years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as cardinal virtues. It coincided with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized, a defense against the forces being marshaled to undo my failure. I can but assume the Ascians planted the idea in Vothri's head. They were his creations, after all. And with the graves in Ylmore territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Thanks, Vothri! Who am I to speak, you may think, when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image, I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with blackest sin, and I will not pretend it can ever be otherwise. But this act, this I could not ignore. If the Ascians were going to go to such lengths, then surely others would cross the rift in due time. So I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Sayela, take up residence in the Crystarium, where I would take measure and bring the most ambitious adventures, individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy the Ascians feared more than any other came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join the hunter's quest, together unmake Vothri's simulacra, and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did. The virtues are no more. But the one ultimately responsible for their action, the devil who set them on their doomed path, lingers still. And you know all there is to know about the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in the shadows is yours, and there are no more secrets to share. So I ask you to grant me that which Ardbert could not. Death. You're joking, right? Do you not know who I am? No, don't do this. Don't spare me like he did. How can you stand there and say I deserve to live, knowing everything I did? The lives I destroyed, the chaos I wrought, the wardens pale in comparison. Surely there is no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper. Death is no comfort to the living. It would be for my own benefit. That I cannot deny. And if I'm to indulge in one final act of selfishness, you'll make me do it myself, won't you? Make me confront the cowardice of it. The ugly truth that I'd rather run away than seek atonement. If you're going to commit suicide, you have to do it yourself. Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, and helping others to understand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and assist Glinner. Spread tales, forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. We would have been good friends, you and Ardbert. Yeah, Listen, I'm Ardbert, okay? Like, that's the status of where I'm at this point. I just want you to know that. Look, let's just sit down. I'll draw a diagram. We'll figure it out. It's cool. It's cool. Can I get some, like, cheat cards in here or something? Listen, I'm not saying that Silva should totally be my one true love, but I'm just saying, you know, that should be a thing. Anyways, all right, so I mean, look, she's almost my height, even. If that's not a measure of romantic quality, I don't know what is, right? Anyway, so I tell you, I'm not accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about it is enough to tax my strength. In fighting, ugh. Any one of Captain Lena's recruits could probably put me flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words in the passage of time will see their legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance, Lore. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated as all heroes deserve. If it isn't Lore, loitering about the stairs just like any old evening. You know, I was worried you'd gone back to your world for good. Now it's too late. Yeah, this is after 5.3 at this point. It's just been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you after you lot defeated the Virtues. I assume you have Ardberts as well? Indeed, that does seem appropriate. His bond with Seto is deep and enduring. As for the others, I'd hoped you might be persuaded to leave them in my care. It was only right that they, like Ardbert, should accompany you on your journey back to set this world on its proper course. Branson. Valvatrix. Branson, excuse me. Yet now you have a home you must return to, while the first is theirs. After all they did to keep it safe, they deserve to see what its future holds. They're dead and gone, but okay. Oh, don't make that face. I know it's a big decision, but it needn't fall entirely to you. There's others who care for the Warriors, right? I was not capable of picking her, otherwise I would have picked her. But now I have to go kill Zira. There we go. Alright, now that that's done, let's go talk to Giod. Gunk, 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 gunk. Nah, that's some damn fine ale. How many should I order you? I know you're not much of a drinker. You're not much of a drinker, so 6, 7? Make it an even 12. Oh, you want help deciding the fate of Lamit's crystal and the others? Does this place have any bigger tankards? Alright, if you insist. Lurik owes me some drinks, plural. I'll make sure he joins us. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, what's funny is it's actually an axe. Check it out. See? Guess she is the liver. I like that. Good to see you. What did you say that has Giot so worked up? Well... Ah, crystals, huh? That sounds like a conversation worth getting everyone together for. Did Lurik really promise to pay for Giot's streaks? That's a disaster in the making. Not just hers, for the lot of us. Fine. I'll try to exercise some restraint. I'm not carrying you back to the room again. I mean, considering what happened to Yulmore canonically by this point, because then this is after 5.3. Here we are. How much of a head start did you get? Should I ask him to bring out the cask? Yes. I reckon we should hear Laura out first. Yeah, so, explain. Explain. So you're telling me the barmaid was one of Nilebert's companions, and the Shadowkeeper, and from a different world. That's laying it on a bit thick. Yeah, they never explain how she got here, too. How she retains her youthful visage. Not that. I had my suspicions about her. The other night, I was at my counter, quaffing my ale, having a good time, and realized I'm outside without a guild to my name. It isn't the first time. It can only be the power of the Shadowkeeper! Not that you drink enough to fell a small army. If Laura says it's true, I'm inclined to believe it, which leaves us with the matter of entrusting the crystals to her. She's right, this is Brandon's home. The others, too. It's home to their most important memories. Not all of them good, maybe, but, you know, everyone they loved is laid to rest here. I agree. Nilebert belongs here. Ardbert's crystals with Seto, in this world, the meat would want to be near. Rendarai as well, I think. She'd want to be with friends in the place she loved. Alright. It seems we're all agree. A toast then. More drinks. Oh my god. Oh my god. To the Warriors of Light. Here, I'll drink to that. Oh shoot, I'm out of liquid. It's okay. I've got a backup. Drink up, I'm paying. And as bounty hunters, I expect you all to take proper advantage of that. Hate to disappoint, but how much for alcohol? The juice, though. Oh yeah. Murloc juice. No. Yeah, the camera angle on that's just great. It's a simple animation, too. How did you manage this? Twice the mess in half the time as normal patrons, I swear. Look, don't blame me. I overheard your conversation, by the way. Yeah, I imagine you would. Do you agree with your friends? The crystals are yours, Storykeeper. Their legacies are safe with me, you have my word. Thank you. Uh-oh. Feel them. Their memories. What's left of them. Why? Why, damn it? You're all just like Ardbert. I betrayed you, I manipulated you, and still... You thought of me as a comrade and a friend until the very end. Oh, hang on. Gotta kill 2 people now. There we go. Alright. We've managed to clean up after you lot, for the most part. Maybe next time we should sit down as tarpaulin. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to you for entrusting these to me, and as long as I live, I will never stop sharing the true tale of the Warriors of Light. My friends. Now, there's one more follow-up to this, which apparently was what was preventing... Oh my god! Kata, are you okay? Hang on, I got this. Be healed! Didn't work. Extra special heal. There we go. Alright. So there is one quest left, like I was saying. Let's just do this. Actually, hang on. Does anyone know how long this quest is? Because we only got like 40 minutes left. Because I've never done it. It'll be new for me. Oh, that's a good point. Now let's get an S now going. I'll cure you of all that ails you. Even the ale. There we go. That's right. I've got a white mage on hand. Just in case you get too drunk. Well, let's go for it, I guess. I just asked because that follow-up quest in Heaven's Word was long. Like multiple hour range long. But we'll see. Hey, look, it's Grahachtia. Oh, Lore, forgive me. I didn't see you there. Ever since you spoke to me of her last moments with Minfilia, I found myself thinking of the moments I shared with her. It was during one such a moment of remembrance, a missive arrived from an acquaintance in Ul'dah. Even now I can scarcely believe the letter's contents, written as if answer to my heart's lament. Such fortuitous timing is nothing short of a miracle, no less than your arrival on this day, I should think. I'm about to depart to the Sultanate. Will you not indulge me in your company? Yeah, sure. You are too kind, my friend. We're to meet on the steps of Thal. I think Asuna would work on drunkenness to some extent, because alcohol's literally a poison, and poison is a thing that you can cure with Asuna, right? Like, the GM in me thinks that makes a degree of sense. It would probably depend on the specifics, though. How poisoned you were, what type of alcohol. Like, if you get buzzed, I don't think Asuna's going to do much about that. But if you're sloshed, or at the at stomach pumping range, it could probably help at that range. I hope I've not kept you waiting over long. Yeah, every Tuesday, that's even in the month. Balamin, thank you for coming on such short notice. I can say we weren't expecting you at all, Lore, though I suppose you do have a knack for assisting matters in the dearly departed. So it's true, my friends? You found it? To start from the beginning, the concern was contracted to work on the waterways below Ul'dah. Naturally, this included the construction of the Silda aqueducts. The placemen and the others fled after the ill-fated banquet. And while we were cleaning up the tunnel, a glint amongst the debris caught our attention. Cat's eye. First we wondered how it got to be there of all places, but then we remembered the stone Minfilia gave you all those years ago. There's no mistake about it. It's the self-same stone. Very first stone she ever unearthed in those halcyon days when she was still called Asilia. She was beaming with pride when she presented it to me. It was a gift I would treasure for years to come. Until the day came when she needed it more than I. She seemed so lost that day in the waking sands. I knew the cat's eye would remind her of how far she had already come, and instill with her a little more courage to take the next step. To think she wore it all this time. When we searched the waterway shortly after the collapse, we didn't find a trace of the scions, no belongings or anything. Curious who would appear after all this time. With the stone in hand, Minfilia pressed onward in her quest for true peace. Never did she look back. And though she is gone, her legacy lives on in you, Lore, and in the child Reen. Safe in the knowledge that others continue to walk her path, she sent the stone back to me. This I choose to believe. She has earned her rest. I shall bury the stone. She might have peace in the hereafter. Where are you thinking? Next to where her father rests. Ah, there's no better place than with your loved ones. Well, you're doubtless keen to see to that, so we won't keep you any longer. We'll find a moment to pay our respects next. Thank you, both of you. Warburton was interred in Ul'dah, in the burial chamber, around the time of the Scion's founding. He was moved to the church of Saint Adama Landama, under the care of Father Iliud. Come, let us seek out our father and request permission to bury the stone. Before I quit the game the first time. Random memories. Welcome, my son. Welcome. Balamin has explained to me the purpose of your visit, and I see no reason to refuse you. Minfilia would wish to rest with her father. I have known her since she was but a child, full of hope and wonder, an aspiring young miner following in Philomene's footsteps. A dutiful student, to be sure. Nary a day passed she did not set out into the wilderness with a pickaxe in hand. But fate would see her set aside her miner's tools and don a mantle of far greater responsibility. Being a useless character. She was as passionate as she was in her childhood, a fire in her eyes that refused to be extinguished. It was that flame that compelled me to lend the Scions my support without a moment's hesitation. To now see as many brave and noble souls continue her work, it only reaffirms I was right to place my faith in her. We'd probably be in Stormblood at this point, Ross. Yeah, the flying mount speeds up things considerably. We've kind of given up on Boja. I don't want to say forever, but I am committing to... Committing's the wrong word. I am accepting of not showing off the rest of Boja on camera. If I find time to actually spend time in there off camera, sure, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe in Patchwalker. Maybe. Forgive my meandering musings. You have not come this far to hear me wax nostalgic. Pray see to burying the cat's eye. The 12's blessing be upon you. Like, even with a kill squad, even with Zadnor busy, we're probably going to have about 5-ish hours of grinding in Zadnor to hit level 25, which is required for going forward into Dalriada. You know, I don't have 5 hours. And yes, this is probably the last thing we're going to do today. Tomorrow we will have to do the class quests, and then patch quests, and then other class quests. So we will not be hitting Endwalker tomorrow, pretty much 100% guaranteed. Tomorrow will probably be class quests. I don't know how long they're going to be, but we have one for every class, and also all of the Dancer quests, and all the Gunbreaker quests, and all the Sage quests, and all the Reaper quests. So all the class quests are going to be tomorrow. I was hoping to start that today, but I didn't realize Boja would take as long as it did. That's on me. It was 20 years ago Warburton came to Ul'dah, risking life and limb to warn us of the threat encroaching on Eorzea. 20 years ago, my ambition robbed him of his life, a daughter of her whole family. He would have been proud of her. She's a warm, compassionate, vibrant woman, ready to answer the clarion call of duty without a moment's hesitation, just like her father. In the end, that selflessness would save not one but 2 worlds. Now her duty is ended, and though you're worlds apart, I pray with this stone, this precious gem from Isilia, a part of her remains at your side. Just as she remains forever in my heart. Oh, Isilia, never did I imagine such greatness would be born from a beginning so humble. I'm proud to have been there for the first little triumph. Not only did you find a gemstone, you found your path. That path took you far, far away to a place fraught with danger, but you have achieved all you desired, and you have returned. Rest now, Isilia, my dearest daughter. Won't you say a 4 words too? Pray a return to the waking sands. What? That's what I remember most for. That and being multiple negatives to story. There is much I've left unsaid to Isilia, but I feel as though a weight has been lifted. With a lighter heart, I shall return to Mordon and resume doing my little part for the Scions, for her legacy. Wherever you may be headed, please take care. When you meet them, pass my regards to Thancred and Rien and the others. Oh my god. Good night, Justin. Hope to see you tomorrow for class quests. All the class quests. I might do Gunbreaker, Red Mage. In fact, I will be doing Gunbreaker, Red Mage, and Dancer first, because I've done them before. And Astrologian. Those 4 I've done before. And then everything else is going to be new. Oh, yep, there it is. Tales from the Shadows. So, before we cut off, There's one quick thing I want to see. Just super quick. This won't take long. I gotta find it. Should be MSQ, though. Here, maybe? Nope. Before that. Down, down. Nope. Before that, too, I think. Shoot. Where was it? It was right before we went to fight Emmett Cell, right? Question mark? Which would have been like... Yeah, I feel like it was right before we went to the Tempest. Hang on. I think it's right before here. And yes, I'm talking the in-room scene. Okay, so it's before this. 'Cause that's when we go to the Tempest. A 5.2? Oh, that's nowhere near where I thought it was. That's gonna be over here. What was the final quest in 5.2? I guess I can just look that up. Unless it's that one. It's either this one or like the one right before this. I'm not going to do all of them, but I do want to see Silva's. Brand new tech. And yeah, this is why this isn't voice acted. Yeah, what's up? It's a friend of yours. They want to talk to you. Oh, of course, you mean... Ciela. There we go. It's funny we have to say goodbye to Minfilia to unlock her being here. You notice we did everything else. Whatever. In fact, that makes no sense if you think about it, but let's not get into that. Good evening. I saw the XIV. I saw everything. That was Ardbert, and it was not. Twice now he's appeared, calling the people to arms. Speaking of heroes. Yeah, she's pissed. As well she should be. I knew this day would come. Ardbert never did reappear as a virtue. But to see his flesh stolen by the selfsame assing that made a mock of their sacrifice. I spent years searching for a means to redeem their legacy. His legacy. And in you I found it. You slew the virtues, reclaimed the stars. Spoke the truth. People listened. When I heard a patron speak of how the warriors light have been saviors all along, I thought at last. At long last. I was a fool. I cannot ask more of you, not after what you've given, but I must. Set him free. Lay him to rest with the others. In honor, triumph. Well, see, that works out, since I am actually Ardbert at this point. Von Falkenstein, so... Oh, hey, the moon. Soon I will have gone to space. Soon! But not today. Or tomorrow. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. I hope you have enjoyed today's extremely haphazard stream. Tomorrow, since this is now policy, and there is no lore week, we will go ahead and be streaming more of this, and we will be smashing out pretty much all the class quests. As a reminder, tomorrow will not be a full stream. I do need some time to do things like, clean and get groceries, but we will do a partial stream tomorrow. First block, essentially. And I am hopeful to get rid of... I don't mean it like that. To get through all of the class quests in that time. And then Friday, we might be able to get back to the MSQ. And by Friday, I mean Monday. God, I am out of it. I'll see you around.